Good evening. For the benefit of the record, this regular meeting of the Orange County Board of Education is called to order at approximately 5:02 on November 4th, 2020. May we have roll call, Nina?
Trustee Gomez.
Present.
Trustee Shaw.
Here.
Trustee Sparks.
Here.
Vice President Markey will be late. And President Williams.
I am here. Very good. So we have established a quorum. So as is tradition, we will start with our invocation, and Lori Kaler from the good city of Yorba Linda will be leading us.
Actually, I'm orange.
Oh, you're an orange. Okay, you're my constituent from Orange.
Right.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
They're both great cities.
They are
aren't
both great cities.
Yeah.
Yes, and we have a great country. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this wonderful country that's done so much good in this world. And we thank you for the freedom that we have here to vote for our official elected leaders. We pray for the ones that have come into power that we are still finding out who is in power. We pray that they would find wisdom from godly people. We thank you for this body here, the trustees and the superintendent and the staff here. And we thank you that they put the children and families first. We thank you for all the people who have come here to share their ideas and their hopes for the children that we have in Orange County. And we just want to lift up this country to you, Lord, that we would have unity, one nation under God. And we thank you so much for all that we have experienced, the liberty in this country, and we pray that we would continue to have that wonderful liberty. In Jesus' name, amen.
If you would like, we may stand as we will give the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Kapil Mather.
Please place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Kapil. Nina, do we have any introductions?
There are no introductions at this meeting.
Very good. I need a motion to adopt tonight's agenda.
So moved.
I need a second.
Second.
Second by Sparks. Motion by Trustee Gomez. All those in favor?
Aye.
Say aye.
Aye.
Oh, actually, help me out. Is it roll call or?
We're live streaming, so you're fine.
So live stream is fine. Okay, so I think I heard an aye from everybody here. So that motion passes 4-0. Moving on to the adoption of the minutes, may I have approval for October 7th minutes?
Move approval.
And a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a moval by Trustee Shaw and a second by Trustee Sparks. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Moving on with our agenda, we have public comments. Do we have any public comments, Nina?
We have one public comment. Sally Chow.
Hi, Sally.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Sally Chow. I'm the chair of the board of directors of ISAC, which is International School for Culture, for Science and Culture. I know that I have not been able to come in person. Planned to come, and then COVID hit, and then this is what happened. So I'm glad to be here. I wanted to thank you very much for all your support for ISAC. It's very important that we have strong supporters for what we do at ISAC. I just want to give you a little bit background about who we are. We have 5-member board. 2 of us are educators and 2 are business people, 1 in law, and we're trying to recruit more people. So if you are, you know, somebody who would love to work with us in language and culture and science, we would love to have them. My association with ISAC is kind of interesting because I live in LA, so I don't live in Orange County. But somehow, somewhat, Dr. Padmini found me when she started working on Isaac, and they were trying to come up with a trilingual school. One of the languages is Chinese, as you know. So, and I've done a lot of work in bilingual education, in especially in the teaching of Chinese. I worked with UCLA in developing a Chinese Mandarin instructional guide for the schools. Because of that, she and I gathered together, and I started to help with what her goals are, which is provide science. And then funny thing too is that I was a principal in San Francisco, and I took over a high school called Galileo High School and converted that school into Galileo Academies of Science and Technology. So I have that background as well. So it all came together. So this has been kind of fun for me, actually. I retired, believe it or not, 8 years ago. I cannot, and I'm still not retired, but that's how it works. I've been working in public schools for about 40 years, mostly in K-12 system. I've worked with a couple of community colleges. I worked as a associate special trustee for Compton College. I worked in Compton when Compton was under state takeover, so I'm very aware of the financial issues, which we also have challenges with Isaac. And the last year, which kind of kept me in LA, I served as the interim president of a small university called University of the West. So I've done quite a few things, and right now I am a very, very part-time CEO for a charter management organization called Global Education Collaborative. We have 2 little charter schools in LA, and one of which has just grown from K-5 to K-6. The other one is a K-5 school. So we're in South Central LA. As you know, Isaac started in 2019, and we had over 100 students that applied. And fortunately, for various reasons, I'm not going to get into it, and I think you are very aware of them, more than half the students did not actually attend. I'm sorry.
3 minutes are up.
Okay.
You can finish your comment.
Okay.
We'll give
I
you-
will. I'm going to try to talk very quickly. This year, we have enrollment of 153 students. So we more than doubled, and we are now getting a lot of inquiries. So we should be able to do very well for the next couple of years. And we wanted to thank Newport Mesa School District who provided us this facility last year, and we're very grateful to them. This year, we're very pleased that we're working with Boys and Girls Club of Central Orange County. And I just went and did a tour of the facility. It's fantastic. I was marveled at that and thinking, my God, if kids are not learning here, I don't know where they would go. So I wanted to thank them also. And of course, I wanted to thank the OCDE Charter School Department for all of the assistance they have given us to make sure that we're compliant, we're being effective, we're being efficient. Of course, I wanted to thank all of you, and then also Superintendent Mijares. And we just found out that we have mutual friends. So, of course, I just want to make sure that what we're doing is just serving children. We have no ulterior motive to do anything else but serve children. So our mission of our school is to cultivate global citizens empowered to build a peaceful society through the pursuit of innovative curriculum designed to meet modern challenges. And by God, we need that now. So thank you very much. And thank you very much for the time that you're giving me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr. Chow, for coming before us, and good to see you, Pendy. Okay, moving on with our agenda. May I have a motion for the consent calendar?
So moved.
So moved by Sparks, seconded by good trustee Gomez. Any questions? Barring none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. Moving on to item number 3, charter submissions. Nina, do we have any charter submissions?
There are no charter submissions at this meeting.
Very, very good. We have a lot of charter school on our agendas today.
Yes, we do.
But that is always a good thing. Moving on to board item number 4, charter school public hearing of the Orange County Academy of Science and Arts. This is a renewal and material revision. And we're going to call upon Araceli Chastain, who is there to facilitate this portion of the hearing.
And just checking that you can hear me since I'm not on the screen.
We can hear you and see you.
Perfect. Good evening, President Williams, trustees, and Superintendent Mijares. Today, the board will hold a hearing to grant or deny the Orange County Academy of Sciences and Arts Renewal Charter Petition and material revision to eliminate grades 6 through 8 from the school's charter. Acosta is a kindergarten through 8th grade charter school located within the boundaries of the Capistrano Unified School District. The school's current charter term will end on June 2021. On August 5th, Acosta submitted a renewal charter petition that includes a material revision to eliminate grades 6 through 8 from the charter. The board held a public hearing on September 2nd to consider the level of support for the charter school. The Orange County Department of Education staff report was published on October 20th, and notification was provided to the charter school, school district, and this board. Based on standards outlined in Education Code in accordance with a 3-tiered system, based on the school's performance, Acosta is placed in the middle performance category and is eligible for a 5-year charter term. Overall, the charter school presented a comprehensive petition for renewal, and the past performance of the school indicates the likelihood of future success. Additionally, the eliminations of grades 6 through 8 from the charter is responsive to the needs of the school community and will enable the school to offer the educational options necessary for students to return to school during the ongoing pandemic while following health department guidelines. Orange County Department of Education staff recommend that the board approve the Acosta Charter Renewal Petition for a 5-year charter term from July 1, 2021 to June 30th, 2026, and approve the school's request to remove grades 6 through 8 from the charter. Prior to public comments, representatives from Acosta will have equal time and opportunity, or 10 minutes, whichever is longer, to present evidence and testimony in response to the Orange County Department of Education staff recommendations and findings published on October 20th. In lieu of speaking, representatives from Acosta have submitted a written response. That document has been provided to you. The hearing is now open for public comments. Associate Superintendent Boyd, are there any public comments for this agenda item?
I have no public comments.
The board has 3 options for action regarding a charter petition renewal and material revision. Option 1, approve the charter petition for a 5-year term from July 1, 2021 to June 30th, 2026, and approve the school's request to eliminate grades 6 through 8 from the charter petition. Option 2, approve the charter petition with conditions. This action would result in approval of the charter and require the school to address concerns raised by the board by established timelines. Option 3, deny the charter petition. Kapil Mather, Executive Director of Acosta, is available via video conference to answer questions. Oh, I apologize. I believe he's available in the conference room to answer questions. President Williams, I now close the public hearing and turn the meeting back over to you to facilitate action on the 2 separate items, the charter petition renewal and the charter school's request to eliminate grades 6 through 8 from the charter.
Very good. Thank you, Araceli. What is the privilege of my fellow board members? Would we like to go straight to action items number 5 or 6, or would you like some questions to be directed toward our people? And I look to the good trustee Gomez because she always has great questions.
I just wanted to clarify, is Capistrano not here? Or
They are not here.
Okay, so they're choosing not to.
They're choosing not to participate, and they had no challenges or concerns.
Okay. That's what I needed to know.
That was too simple, Becky.
Well, I can certainly make things more difficult if you like.
Okay, I would like to ask Kapil Mather to come up and just to say a few words, and let me just say a few words of kindness. You have done marvelous job, marvelous effort. You've come a long ways, dating back, how many is it, 5 years ago when you first came before us, and all of the turmoil and the complex nature of the approval process. In 5 years, you've done a marvelous job, and I want to commend you for your hard work and dedication to the community and to the kids that you take care of. You've done a great job. Just for the record, can you, I know you already said this, but can you go through the process of why you want to eliminate grades 6 through 8 from your charter petition?
Yes, so last year we submitted a petition for a second school called Acosta College Prep. It is a 6 through 12 school that was approved by Capistrano District, a 7-0 approval at the local district. When we were planning, so the plan was there would be an overlap of grades 6 through 8 between our two schools. When we were planning to reopen for this school year, given the space requirements for students due to the COVID pandemic and the guidelines from the Orange County Department of Education and the Orange County Health Agency, we decided that it made more sense to move our 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students to the new school to free up physical classroom space at our original school. Many of you have visited our school. We share a campus with another charter school. And so while our classrooms are dedicated space, there are public spaces that were designed to be shared, like the library and the auditorium and the pickup and drop off and the outdoor sports areas. It was not feasible to use the auditorium with 2 different schools in the same day because of the cleaning and disinfecting that was going to be needed. So what we did was we moved 3 classrooms over to the new school, and we converted those 3 now open classrooms into our music room, our art room, and our teacher's lounge. So that way we were able to separate our program completely from the other school's program, at least for the indoor space. And our second campus is not too far away in San Juan Capistrano, and we have 6 additional classrooms there. So that's why we did it. We worked with the Charter Schools Division, and they said whether this was a permanent or a temporary move, we would be required to do a material revision. And so that's why we have a revision to move those 3 grades.
Very good. Thank you, Kapil. Any other questions for Mr. Mather?
Yeah, I just have a couple quick ones. Your board of directors, can you tell me a little bit about how you're recruiting for your board of directors and who currently serves on that?
Yes, we have a 5-member board of directors. 2 of those members are parents at the school, and one has a parent at both schools, or one has a child at both schools, and the other has 2 children at one school. The other 3 board members were specifically selected for their domain expertise. We are a STEM program, and so we recruited board members who had industry experience or education experience in those domains. So we have Dr. Michael Yadlowski, who is a senior fellow with Corning. He makes the glass for your iPhone. He has an incredible wealth of knowledge in engineering and science. We have Dr. Elisa Olguin, who is currently at home with her children, but prior to that, she did her PhD work at UC Irvine in biological sciences and served as adjunct faculty at Cal State Fullerton. And then our 3rd non-parent board member is Sophie Leguier. She is the chief marketing officer for a large software technology company. So those 3 board members complement our 2 parents, Dr. Satish Medicetti and Chris Mattingly, who are our 2 parents on the board.
Thank you. That was all I had.
Okay, very good. For the record, the good trustee Barkey has arrived
Sorry.
from her long journey to the state of Arizona.
Yes.
Very good. It's good to have you. What we are is on item number 4. We're doing the public hearing. We're just closing it, and we'll move on to item number 5 and 6 in just a moment. But do you have any questions for Kapil, regarding any of the material revision or the renewal?
I do not. You have an amazing school, and glad you're here. Thank you.
Thank
And look forward to great
Vice
renewal.
President Barkey, could you just scoot up a little bit? The mic,
Sorry. Which
either one
one?
of them.
I just want to thank you for being here. You have an amazing school, and I look forward to the renewal. So very excited.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. Okay.
I'll just comment, I did have an opportunity to visit the school myself, and came away very impressed. You have, it was a lot of fun, and for those schools out there, maybe who I haven't been able to visit, I'm kind of new here and trying to get around to visit, so please invite me. I love touring the school campuses whenever possible, but this particular case, I just want to say thank you for the hospitality and really enjoyed my visit there.
Thank you.
Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Okay, and so that will end the public hearing, and we will move on to board action item number 5, which is as we look at the agenda, we have 3 options here for number 5, and this is for the material revision, and I will make the motion for 1 to approve the material revision of eliminating grades 6 through 8 from the charter school. May I have a second?
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion. Barring that there's no discussion, we'll take a vote. And Nina, roll call or just raising of the hands?
You can just raise your hand.
Raising the hands. Okay, so I'll call it. All those in favor of option 1 for board action item number 5, say aye. Raise your hands.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I see unanimity. That is a vote that passes 5-0. Moving on to a similar item for the Orange County Academy of Science, and that is the renewal, the 5-year renewal. Action item number 6. May I have a motion from my board members?
So moved.
So moved by Trustee Barkey and seconded by
Second.
Trustee Shaw. Any questions, comments, discussion? Barring none, we'll call the vote. All those in favor of the renewal, say aye. Raise your hand.
Aye.
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 And I believe that's a 5-0 again. Congratulations, Mr. Mather. You have renewal and material revision unanimously. Okay. Believe it or not, we still have a full agenda ahead of us here, so we will be moving on to agenda item number 7. That's a charter public school hearing for Citrus Springs Charter School Renewal and Admission Preferences. And again, we'll go ahead and ask Araceli to facilitate this hearing.
The board will now hold a public hearing to grant or deny the Citrus Springs Charter School Renewal Petition and revised admission preferences. Citrus Springs is a TK through 12th grade charter school located within the boundaries of the Santa Ana Unified School District. The school's current charter term will end on June 2021. On August 4th, Citrus Springs submitted a renewal charter petition. The Orange County Board of Education held a public hearing on September 2nd to consider the level of support for the charter school. On September 28th, a clarification meeting took place with the charter school petitioners and Orange County Department of Education staff. And as a result of that meeting, Citrus Springs charter school petitioners submitted revisions to the school's admission preferences. The Orange County Department of Education staff report was published on October 20th, and notification was provided to the charter school, school district, and this board. Based on standards outlined in Education Code in accordance with a 3-tiered system, Citrus Springs placed in the middle performance category and is eligible for a 5-year charter term. Overall, the charter school presented a comprehensive petition for renewal, and the past performance of the school indicates the likelihood of future success. Additionally, the revisions to the school's admission preferences clarifies the language in the charter petition and aligns to the school's current practice. Orange County Department of Education staff recommend that the board approve the Citrus Springs charter petition renewal for a 5-year charter term from July 1, 2021 to June 30th, 2026, and approve the school's revised admission preferences. Prior to public comments, representatives from Citrus Springs shall have equal time and opportunity, or 10 minutes, whichever is longer, to present evidence and testimony in response to the Orange County Department of Education staff recommendations and findings published on October 20th. I now call the representative from Citrus Springs Charter School, Executive Director Kathleen Hermsmeyer, to the podium.
I'm smiling. I'm very happy to be here today. I have to tell you because you can't see. I just wanted to say I'm really grateful to be here. I'm grateful for the leadership of Orange County Department of Ed. I'm also grateful for the fantastic staff in your charter school division led by Araceli. And we have had a very collaborative and positive relationship over the years. So we're back in school. Our students are back in school 50%. That's also, I'm very grateful for that. So as much as we want this pandemic to be over, you know, there are definitely things to be grateful for. So I'm just here to answer any questions you might have. I'm not making a presentation since the staff is recommending approval. So.
Okay. And of course, Santa Ana is not going to be present for the meeting.
No, but Araceli will continue with the.
The hearing is now open for public comments. Associate Superintendent Boyd, are there any public comments for this agenda item?
There are no public comments for this item.
The board has 3 options for action regarding a charter petition renewal and material revision. Option 1, approve the charter petition for a 5-year term from July 1, 2021 to June 30th, 2026, and approve the school's revised admission preferences. Option 2, approve the charter petition with conditions. Option 3, deny the charter petition. Representatives from Citrus Springs schools are present in the boardroom to answer questions. President Williams, I now close the public hearing and turn the meeting back over to you to facilitate action on 2 separate items, the charter petition renewal and the charter school's revised admission preferences.
Very good. Thank you, Araceli. As usual, you did a marvelous job in facilitating this part of our board meeting here. So we're going to move on to board questions, and I'll go ahead and start off here. So tell me why the material revision?
Well, the portion of our charter that talked about lottery, the lottery for admissions in case we had more students than we could serve, was actually was written backwards to what we were doing. And so we didn't understand. I mean, it was just a mistake in the original charter that nobody caught. So anyway, that's why we're revising it. We're revising it to ensure that we are, you know, adequately thinking of the kids in the right order, you know, for admission. We haven't actually had to do a lottery so far at Citrus. So it's been kind of a moot point, but it might happen in the future. So we want to make sure it's written correctly.
And just for the record, you have not denied anybody of any
No.
education. You've provided a wonderful experience
Yes.
for your families and children.
Yeah, and we also, you know, we offer the homeschool program as our core and then the academy program at the Santa Ana Center. So we always have openings in homeschool. So, I mean, that makes it, you know, even if no matter what, we've got ways that we can support the kids. So.
Very good. Any other questions from my colleagues?
A quick question for your on-campus. Do you have any capacity there?
As far as I know, do you know if we have space? We do.
We have space at the campus.
She needs to either come to the mic or either.
Yes, we have space, limited space available in our academy program in Santa Ana.
What is your current enrollment? Do you know?
I don't know if we're around 275, I think, total, but that's with both the academy program and our homeschool program.
Well, thanks for what you do for families in the area in your homeschool program. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, we love to do it. We're here for the kids and for the families, for sure.
Very good. Any other questions for my colleagues?
Yes, I have one.
Yes.
I'd also like the same, get a feel for your board.
Right.
And how many you have and what their background
We
is.
have a 7-member board, and we have 2 parents. They're current parents of homeschooling students that live in Orange County. We also have a professor from Brandman College University that is in the School of Education, so that's very helpful. We have a person who has a background in HR and PR, marketing and PR, so that's helpful. We have someone whose child graduated from River Springs Charter School years ago and has been very active in our community for over 10 years. And we have 2 relatively new board members. So it's 7 total board members.
Do you plan on recruiting more board members or is 7?
No,
feel-
7 is the maximum, 5 to 7. So, we just try to make sure that we always have a robust group with wide background, business, education, because that's, in looking at the governance, you need a wide variety of professional people to help, kind of steer the ship.
How did you select your parents for the board?
Well, it's, the board is appointed and by our sole statutory. So we do have a Springs Inc. board that their only duty is to place board members. So that it just avoids the whole idea of the keeping a board full is very important for the benefit of the governance.
Well, you want
And
continuity.
for the
absolutely.
continuity, right. And so it can take a lot of time out of regular board meetings to interview and select. So we found that this works really well. We have 6 schools total, and this is our process.
So you say you have 6 schools, and so this board is over?
No. This board
Is for
is
this campus.
only for, right. And they are completely 100% in charge of the school and the business side of financials, everything that goes on. We're not run by a management company.
Okay.
So the only thing that the Springs Inc. board does is to seat board members to ensure that we're, full.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That
Very
was all
good.
I had.
Lisa, Tim, any questions?
Just thank you for all you're doing to support our kids.
Thank you. Thank you for your support as well.
Very good.
No questions.
Okay. Moving on with our agenda items, we're moving on to number 8 here. We need a board action for a 5-year renewal of Citrus Springs Charter School. May I have a motion?
I will make a motion to renew for the 5-year term.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second by trustees Barkey and Sparks. Any questions, thoughts, comments? Barring none, all those in favor of item number 8?
Aye.
I say aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay, we have unanimity, 5-0 vote. Congratulations on your renewal. Now, let's go to number 9, which is material revision. That seems simple and straightforward, so I will make that motion personally.
I will second that
And a
motion.
second from trustee Barkey. Any questions, thoughts, comments before we vote? Okay, barring none, all those in favor of the material revisions for mission preferences, say aye.
Aye.
I see, again, unanimity, 5-0. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Okay. So we're going to be moving on now to item number 10 on our agenda, and that's a Vista Condor Global Academy material revision. And once again, we will call on Araceli to facilitate this.
Next, the board will hold a hearing to consider public input regarding the request for a material revision to add transitional kindergarten to the Vista Condor Global Academy Charter Petition. Prior to public comments, representatives from Vista Charter Public Schools are allotted 10 minutes to address the board. Santa Ana Unified School District has declined the option to speak. I now call Dr. Colin Felch, Principal of Vista Condor Global Academy, to the podium.
Good evening, board. It's a pleasure to be here always. Superintendent Mijares. I do have a presentation. I never turned down the opportunity to do a quick presentation, so we'll go ahead and get started. So We are here to present about adding transitional kindergarten to our current K through 5 Vista Condor Global Academy charter. And next slide, please. So going back on why we're asking this, I think the question is also, why haven't we done this already? And going back to our initial charter petition 3 years ago when we first presented to the board when we were opening the school, it was asked, why are we only starting with kindergarten through 5th grade? Now, there's a few answers to that. First of all, Dr. Wilson, our superintendent, who is here, has 33 years of experience in kindergarten through 5th grade education. And we wanted to make sure that when we opened, it was absolute high quality. And we feel like we have been able to do that. Dr. Wilson also points out that TK is not the same as kindergarten. And we want to make sure that when we do have TK, that we get it right. And also, we promised to you, the board, that we would have TK once we had the resources, we had the staffing, we had the training available. And we do believe that we have that now. So next slide. Getting to why now. Again, we feel like over the past 2+ years that we have been serving the community of Santa Ana, that we've really built a strong foundation, the strong foundation that we have promised the community and you, the board. And we believe that now we have those resources, we have the capacity to build a strong TK foundation. We also have trained all of our teachers in early literacy programs, which is going to be essential for TK. And all of our programs are mastery-based. So as we build down, we will be able to meet all of the needs of our students in TK as well as K through 5. We are also, though, this year focusing or working very, very closely with a leading specialist in early childhood education that has over 40 years of experience and has actually worked and taught TK since the inception of TK. And so we're very, very confident in our work and guidance with that early childhood specialist that we are for sure ready now. And we have intervention programs, including the Fontes and Pinell level literacy intervention to, again, build down and really meet the needs of every single child, even in transitional kindergarten. But we also have the space now. That was something that was holding us back because we were at our capacity physically in K through 5, and we couldn't grow any larger. But now we have a beautiful new building, and I will actually be reaching out to each of you to invite you to our ribbon cutting ceremony very soon. But I'm actually going to take a few minutes to show you a quick sneak peek video of our new building. So next slide, and it should start the video. So that is our new beautiful home. The first phase has already been completed, and we are actually using it right now as we have 25% of our school back on campus currently. And we will have our final phase completed in December. So we are very excited about that. But back to TK, which will also be using these facilities. I want to really emphasize three things. We are first here to fulfill our promise to the Orange County Board of Education to include TK that we said that we would 3 years ago. Also, we feel like this is the time because we are now ready. We're ready with the resources, the training, the staffing, and the space. And to finish off, we have that new beautiful building now to offer that space to not just our K through 8 and eventually K through 12, but also our little ones in TK.
Very good.
Very impressive.
Associate Superintendent Boyd, are there any public comments for this agenda item?
There are no public comments for this item.
This concludes the public hearing. The Orange County Board of Education staff report will be published on December 22nd, and the board will take action at the January 6th meeting. Representatives from Vista Condor Global Academy, Principal Dr. Felch, and Superintendent for Vista Charter Public Schools, Dr. Don Wilson, are available in the boardroom to answer questions. President Williams, I now close the public hearing and turn the meeting back over to you.
Very good. Questions, comments?
Oh my gosh. Congratulations. It's just beautiful. I've been watching you grow and it's just a magnificent campus and it's just so excited for you and happy to hear that you have some of your kiddos back and hopefully more in the near future. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I would just add that we're very proud of what you guys have accomplished as well.
Thank you so much.
I've served on the board of directors for the Orange County Transportation Authority for the last 10 years, and I was kind of like, oh, the streetcar, and I'm putting it all together now. So if they're giving you a hassle, let me know. I'll try to.
Absolutely, we'll do that.
The saying there is the construction's never a good neighbor, and so we know that. But my one comment I was going to make about TK, my oldest son he'll be turning 13 in about 2 weeks, and he happened to be right at the age when the state did the change, and so we were the tip of the spear. My oldest boy, back when he was a little guy, was the first TKer that came in, and in our home district, only one campus was going to have TK, and so we had him start there. And it's not the school where we live, but having that continuity, we kept our kids there because we got used to the school. And I just think for the family that has the TKer, going from here, then having to move the next year is disruptive. So I'm very pleased to see that you'll be able to keep them rolling and have that continuity. So that's my comment.
Great.
Look forward to the ribbon cutting.
You will get an invite, all of you.
Very good. Any other board questions? So this is going to come in January for official approval. Is that correct, Nina?
Correct.
Okay. Very good. Thank you very much for coming. Give our best to your good director. And
He's right here.
Oh, there he is. Okay, well, we got to get you up here. Come on. You can't just sit there and not say anything. You've been here for so many years now. Will you just come up and I'll pepper you with a few difficult questions.
Yeah, give it to him.
Oh, boy.
Okay, just because you didn't want to come up, we're going to get you.
I actually wanted to stay in the background because Colin, Dr. Felch, he actually took this entire revision. He took the entire thing. He did all of the work. He did all the research to make sure that we were able to happen. So I told him, I don't want to take your glory. So this is really a testament to his leadership in Orange County, which we're just so blessed to have Dr. Felch as a colleague and as a friend. So, and I think beyond TK, I just want to say that it's hard to believe that it's been only 4 years. We started with just one school in Los Angeles and got to open up our first middle school. And now we are a TK-12 organization serving Santa Ana. So that is a vision that we held, and to see it come to reality. And it only happened because of all of you and your support. So we are forever indebted and grateful. And it was said earlier, and I see Araceli up there, working with the team here has been an unbelievably positive and fruitful experience. So I just want to thank them for that as well.
Wonderful. Thank you for the.
And I'm here for any hard questions, even from Becky.
Oh.
I think you answered her last time, and she's not going to ask you again. But we appreciate the feedback.
You know, he knows how I feel about the boards, and that's been kind of my theme tonight, is just making sure that we have a board that represents, you know, the values that you have for your school, and that really is a positive, it creates a positive environment for students, so.
Is that, oh, I don't know, is that a time?
No.
You didn't ask, but I'll tell you anyway. Because it is something that has been important to you, and it has not gone on deaf ears. We are now a larger organization in Orange County than we are in LA, where we started, and we have a K-12 system here. And so I have an expiration date, not like a complete expiration date, I hope yet, but a retirement date, and putting the right organization in place, putting the leadership in place as I look towards leaving the organization. Part of that plan is looking to see how we can create dual boards, one that would serve Orange County and one that would serve Los Angeles, because it makes the most sense to have local representation. So it's something that we're really trying to figure out how to do legally and in a way that will serve the organization as well.
Good, thank you.
Is your school open to instruction, or are you doing,
You got to come. You know what? Come on a Zoom meeting with me. First, you got to go see the physical building. It's beautiful and it's just stunning. But it's unbelievable what we are able to accomplish during this time. We do have kids on campus. We have 120 here in Orange County. But the level of instruction, the level of the professional development that's going on. I probably am in more classrooms with Dr. Felch now than in any time in the past, because we can go on a whole day. We can go from one to the next. I'm not on the road, and we're observing, we're giving feedback. They're getting lots of professional development, and we're seeing our programs actually improve during this time, because a benefit to this time is that one of the barriers that teachers often had, and as a teacher, I had the same thing, is not wanting to be filmed. But filming is a great way to be able to reflect on your own teaching, to see what you're doing, and suddenly that barrier is gone and teachers are comfortable with it. So we're actually able to do something that we've known in education works for years, but there were just people not willing. So that's been really fascinating to break that barrier. And our teachers, if you ever have time, we'd love to take you on a Zoom observation tour with us. It's I think it would be eye-opening for you.
so what percentage of in-room classroom instruction do you have in versus distance?
So right now it's still virtual. The kids are on campus, but right now we're still waiting because we have quite a few kids on campus, but they're still in a virtual situation. The teachers are in their classrooms, they're teaching from their classrooms, but the cohorts have not started yet. So, and actually today, we put a plan together with a group, it's a national group that will be doing our testing, COVID testing. They have an algorithm that lets you have a base of how many kids get first tested. That tells you what percentage of possibility you might have. And then each week they were able to tell you, we're going to test so many kids, and that will give you a 97% surety that you are safe. And so that is going to be in place. And once that's in place, it answers the biggest question, at least in our organization, which is teachers are the ones who feel the most vulnerable. Mm-hmm. And so really making sure that before we add that additional burden of feeling vulnerable all day, that we have a solid plan in place that says, not only can you come back safely, we're going to be monitoring this regularly. So that should be in place in the next couple of weeks. And then we can start bringing our cohorts back.
So how can you have kids on campus and do distance learning? That's a new concept to me.
It's a unique thing because of our building. So we have this 18,000 square foot auditorium. We have cafeterias that are not in use. So we have cohorted kids in basically it's almost like a daycare situation, but we're able to provide them a safe area. Their parents are able to go to work, and then they are able to receive extra support if they need it. So we've also targeted kids with special needs, language needs, et cetera, so that they're there and have quick access to support.
Are they in the same room?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
They are. I took a bunch of pictures today. I don't know if you can see them, but you can't see them because my
They're
picture's
wearing
not-
masks? Are you social distancing?
Yeah,
Do you want me to?
yeah. It's pretty. It's awesome to watch.
It's a pretty intricate plan. So they are wearing masks. They are socially distant. We're following California's guidelines. So we have 15 kids and 1 adult in each what we're calling learning pods. So we have 2 of our new classrooms, and then as well as our new gymnasium, which is a 12,000 square foot gymnasium, and we have set
I didn't lie.
and we've actually set clear room dividers throughout the gymnasium. We've laid out cardboard on the floor and so on. And so we actually have learning pods. And then we're also using our cafeteria as well. And so all of our teachers are actually teaching from their classrooms using all of the interactive touchscreen boards and things like that. But I think what Dr. Wilson touched on, the teachers don't feel comfortable yet. Both a number of teachers, like health-wise, but also pedagogically speaking. How do we teach kids in front of us? How do we teach kids online at the same time? And so we're really working through all of those details to make sure that, again, when we do it, we do it right.
So how long have you been implementing this model?
We started October 1st. So we have, we just finished our first month of this. 0 positive COVID cases amongst our student population and our staff throughout this first month. Again, knock on wood. But we feel like all of our safety protocols are really in place, and we're excited. Our parents, our students, our staff are really really positive about this.
Wonderful.
Very good.
I'll send you an invite to come on a virtual tour with us.
Do I have to wear a mask?
On your virtual
On a virtual tour now.
Yes,
We're still
Ken,
gonna
you
take
have
the
to wear a
ticket
mask.
through the screen.
Okay, very good. Any other questions?
No.
Okay, bar none. Thank you very much,
Thank
gentlemen.
you.
We'll see you back in January.
Yes.
Very good. Okay, so moving on the agenda to item number 11. This is the renewal as well as material revision for our own charter school here, the Orange County Workforce Innovation High School. And Araceli, if you can facilitate us.
The board will now hold a hearing to consider public input regarding the renewal and material revision for Orange County Workforce Innovation High School. Innovation High was approved for a 5-year term from July 2016 through June 2021. The school is eligible for a 5-year charter renewal. On October 7th, Innovation High submitted a renewal charter petition and material revision to remove the sole statutory member from the school's governance structure. The petitioner has agreed to a 1-day extension beyond the 90 days allotted in Education Code for review and decision of a charter petition in order to accommodate the board's regularly scheduled meeting in January. Prior to public comments, representatives from Innovation High are allotted 15 minutes to address the board. Anaheim Union High School District has declined the option to speak, but requested and has been provided with a copy of the submitted charter petition and material revision. I now call Learn for Life Area Superintendent Julie Parra to the podium.
Good evening, Dr. Williams, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Maharas. It's a pleasure to be here, and we have a 13 and 59-second video for your preview. And so, IT, would you mind queuing that up for us? Excuse me. The Personalized Learning Program at Orange County Workforce Innovation High School, also known as OC Innovation, targets opportunity youth who are academically skilled and credit deficient or may have stopped attending school regardless of achievement levels. Our unique public educational model is tailored to the needs and interests of each individual student, including credit recovery and flexible scheduling. We offer personalized learning where lessons are built around the skills, talents, and needs of the individual student. Students receive one-on-one attention as they are paired with a supervising teacher with support from tutors, counselors, and administrative staff. Our Anaheim Learning Center is safe with controlled access and security monitoring so the focus can be on learning. Workforce training through corporate partnerships and job readiness programs prepare students for the real world while filling the needs for a skilled workforce. In recognition of alternative schools that serve at-risk traditionally underserved students, in May 2017, the State Board of Education approved the Dashboard Alternative School Status, DAS program. The DAS replaces the previously Administrative Alternative Schools Accountability Model, ASAM. In order to maintain DAS status, there must be an unduplicated count of at least 70% of the school's total enrollment composed of the required high-risk student groups. OC Innovation has qualified as a DAS school with 87.1% of their population is considered at risk and therefore eligible for alternative methods for calculating the state and local indicators. Over 83.8% of our students are eligible for free and reduced lunch, 20.3% are students with disability, 55.4% are English learners RFET, 12.60% are homeless, 4% are parents, and 1.4% are foster youth. 73% of our student population are Latino Hispanic, 11% white, 5% black, 5% Asian or Pacific Islander, and the remaining 6% are categorized by other. Our current grade levels comprise of 24% 9th graders, 37% 10th graders, 30% 11th graders, and 9% 12th grade students. 91% of our students are 16 and older. While OC Innovation enrolls students year-round, traditionally a large enrollment influx occurs within the first and third quarters due to students' parents seeking educational options to avoid failing core courses and are failing further behind in credits. OC Innovation students are on average 138 days removed from their prior school placement and 16.6 years of age. Entering students are averaging approximately one full school year credit deficient, reading at a 7th grade level, and are at a 5th grade math level based upon the Northwest Evaluation Association NWA diagnostic assessment. OC Innovation leaders work with ACES Connection and Lifelong Learning Administration Corporation to develop a trauma-informed educational communities TREC model. This model brings together a network of partnerships with nonprofit social services agencies, workforce development programs, and industries, along with an integrated focus on academics, health and social services, youth workforce development, community development, social emotional learning, and community engagement. The benefits of the TREC program enhances student learning, stronger families, and healthier communities, as well as career readiness. Additionally, students have the opportunity to participate in workshops provided by Western Youth Services covering topics supporting mental health, anger management, coping strategies, therapy, counseling. This partner also has therapy services covered by Medi-Cal or on a sliding scale. The Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, which was signed into law on July 22, 2014, reauthorizing the Workforce Investment Act of 1998, authorizes services for youth, adults, and laid-off workers. In addition to providing a comprehensive core curriculum, the goal of OC Innovation is to provide the following instruction to students exclusively in partnership with WIOA: financial literacy, entrepreneurial and work readiness, and professional skills training, services that provide labor market employment information in the local area, activities that help youth transition to post-secondary education and training, and education offered concurrently within and in the same context as workforce preparation activities and training for specific occupation and occupational cluster. Prior to COVID-19, the Santa Ana Work Center and Orange County Youth Center would come on site as needed to conduct WIOA orientations intake for both our current and new eligible WIOA students. All WIOA students enrolled have access to case-managed WIOA services. Our WIOA partners provide workforce readiness, paid work experience opportunities, and job skills training to eligible OC Innovation students. Since its inception in July 2016, with an initial enrollment of 187 students, OC Innovation has enrolled more than 1,509 students in Orange County and adjacent counties. OC Innovation qualifies for DAS, serving high school students who are typically at least 1 year behind, students who are no longer engaged in school, and adult students who are not able to enroll in a district program. Many of the state metrics that apply to traditional classroom-based schools do not apply to a dropout recovery program. Although the state metrics are not aligned to the type of program OCA Innovation is, the school reports all of the required state metrics as shown here. OCA Innovation has agreed upon the following alternative metrics for renewal in collaboration with the OCDE. Students will improve upon annual reading and math RIT scores from the initial Northwest Evaluation Association measures of academic progress assessment to the most current assessment. For eligible students, students will demonstrate Lexile growth while participating in Read 180. We will increase its one-year graduation cohort rate over the previous year's cohort rate as measured by the California dashboard. Based on the student enrollment, OCA Innovation will show increases in graduation percentages and student retention percentages over the previous year. OCA Innovation recognized the need to provide further support to its students in English language arts, literacy, and mathematics based on CAS results. We are committed to providing its teachers with ongoing professional development opportunities specific to literacy and math instruction intervention, and will also implement Math 180 and Illuminate as additional metrics in monitoring student academic growth. For 3 consecutive years, OCA Innovation has demonstrated higher EL reclassification rates than Orange County and the state of California. Also included is the California Dashboard Baseline English Learner Progress Indicator, ELPI, indicating that only 42.9% of OCA Innovation's EL students are making progress towards English language proficiency. OCA Innovation recognizes that its need to devote more time on its EL program in order to raise the ELPI. Therefore, we're working with our EL teachers on providing further support and intervention to our EL students. With the exception of 1 academic year in math, we've seen a consistent growth in RIT scores of the cohort of students who remain with OCA Innovation from one year to the next. Students enroll with OCA Innovation on average with a 7th grade reading level. Due to low student literacy skills, OCA Innovation has placed an emphasis on intervention for students struggling with reading. Student participation has steadily decreased in Read 180 between 2016-2020, leading into the transition to distance learning in March 2020 due to COVID-19. Unfortunately, this drop in student participation came at a time when student Lexile results significantly increases from 18 AL in the 2018-2019 school year to 37 AL in the 2019-2020 school year. As listed in DAS accountability measures in 2019, OCA Innovation posted an 89.6 one-year graduation cohort rate for all students. Within the subgroups, the one-year graduation cohort rates were the following: Hispanic 90.6, homeless 83.3, socioeconomically disadvantaged 90.2, and students with disability 100%. OCA Innovation is in a constant flux of enrolling, withdrawing, and graduating students throughout the school year. The student success rate recognizes student retention in school as a success, whether it be with us or we're matriculating back to their district of residence or another academic program. 92 out of every 100 students who attend OCA Innovation stick with their education. We've graduated more than 118 students since opening up our doors. OCA Innovation has many extracurricular activities for its students in order to foster necessary social and emotional skills. Along with local field trips, students have the opportunity to attend experiential learning, leadership, and service learning field trips to locations like Washington, D.C., Colorado, and New Orleans. We offer organized sports to our students where student athletes were able to participate in basketball, soccer, and spirit squad. Our teen parent support group program called HOPE, Helping Our Parenting Students Excel, provides a child-friendly academic environment that brings in resources from the community to help support parenting students with diapers, parenting classes, and daycare resources. Although majority of courses offered are independent study courses, we offer a small group instruction SGI model for the following classes: science labs, math and Read 180, English intensive, algebra, and geometry. Certificated counselors provide college and career opportunities for students through a variety of activities such as college field trips, college and career fairs, and senior cohort activities. We also partner with highly qualified speakers and experts in various fields to present students on topics such as financial literacy, college admission, the military, and trauma-informed practices such as healthy coping mechanism. FAFSA and DREAMAC information applications are available in the counselor's office, as well as links shared on the counselor's virtual page. OCA Innovation offers a rigorous career technical education CTE program that currently includes the pathways of child development and arts, media, and entertainment. These courses support students with career college readiness while exposing students to alternative hands-on learning labs. In addition to its CTE pathways, all OCA Innovation students are required to complete both a work readiness skills course and a foundations in computer literacy course as a means to ensure basic competencies with necessary employability skills for post-secondary success.
Yeah. Ooh, cash, hey. Yeah, I walk in the room and I'm about to go straight to work. Fast as a spaceship, yeah, call me Captain Kirk. Deep in these packets, now my fingers really feeling hurt. Got the determination, see that all up on my shirt. About to get a hat, ooh, yeah, I'm about to get a hoodie. It's cool. I'm about to get a shirt. Hey, ain't no that is a rap. Hey.
OC Innovation has both English Learner Advisory Committee, ELAC, and Parent Advisory Council, PAC meetings to seek stakeholder input in addition to hosting award nights for students and their families. Parents also are able to receive updates such as upcoming events via our Alpha Owl Connect app, powered by Parent Square. OC Innovation teachers have designated time to host parent conferences for every student twice annually as well. Our team holds an annual counselor breakfast where staff invite counselors and administrators from surrounding districts to learn about our summer school information for the upcoming year, program outline, and how schools can come together to promote holistic collaboration for our shared community of students. OC Innovation students and their families have access to support services provided by the vast network of community partners located throughout Orange County, which assists students to reconnect with their educational goals and provided the needed stability to stay engaged in school. The Orange County Teen Challenge Adolescents Recovery Facility has been working closely with OC Innovation for the past 4 years to help students who are at promise and underserved return to school and provide them with the opportunity to achieve their high school diploma and change their story. Underground Grit, a nonprofit organization, has worked closely with OC Innovation over the past year to re-engage these youth in school through a personalized learning plan with a trauma-informed approach and providing the soft skills needed for job readiness. OC Innovation has developed strong relationships and support with the local community leaders, city and state officials, demonstrated by their letters of support. Such dignitaries include Senator Tom Umberg, Senator Ling Chang, Board of Supervisor Donald Wagner, and Mayor Harry Sadu, to mention a few. We appreciate the oversight by all entities and look forward to continued collaboration on how to improve our practices, both fiscally and programmatic. The fiscal plan for OC Innovation covers the operating periods of 21-22 through 23-24. The fiscal plan models the school's successful profile with a proven track record of fiduciary management success. The fiscal plan is a fluid document and subject to refinement and updates on a regular basis as the state's budget plans are revised throughout the year. The goal of the fiscal plan is to ensure the long-term fiscal viability of OC Innovation. OC Innovation has submitted a material revision to the current charter petition, which expires June 30th, 2021, as required by Orange County Department of Education procedures. The material revision includes changes to the charter school's government structure, as well as required legal and programmatic changes as required by the Education Code. During the school's September 17th, 2020 regular board meeting, the board took action to revise its bylaws to do two things. One, to remove the sole statutory member, Educational Advancement Corporation, from the government structure, and two, update the bylaws for current laws, including SB 126 compliance, including the Brown Board and conflict of interest laws. We'd like to thank Araceli Chastain and the OCDE Charter School Division for the support and guidance through this process. At OC Innovation, we have a tradition of ringing a bell every time a student earns their diploma. It is a moment of celebration you can hear throughout the center. We look forward to many years of bell ringing with the support of both the Orange County Board and Department of Education. Thank you for your ongoing support.
Thank you, Ms. Parra. The hearing is now open for public comments. Associate Superintendent Boyd, are there any public comments for this agenda item?
I have 8 public comments to read into the record. And board members, in your packet, these comments, along with a multitude of others, have been submitted by the petitioner. The first is from parent Esmeralda Sanchez. I can say that the option of my daughter going to your school has helped her to be more proactive in owning her individuality. The school has been helpful in providing her a different option of learning, in this case being more independent and at a pace where she can go very fast or slow, down with the subjects that may be a little bit more challenging. She also has access to many educational resources the school provides. I am pleased to be able to have one-on-ones whenever needed with her lead teacher, Mr. Hunt, in order to have my daughter be on track with her curriculum. He is really a dedicated teacher and can say without question that has my daughter's best interest. These aforementioned items are one of the most differentiating factors to a conventional school. This school provides an option of learning in a way that is best for the student rather than the school. It truly is geared for their best learning method and appreciate it so. The next is from parent Gina Bro. OC Innovation High School has helped my daughter ensure she completes her senior year and earn a diploma. We appreciated the support we received all the way through from the first day until her nearing graduation. Having a daughter with some mental health issues makes it hard for her to attend school daily. So with the flexibility of learning, she has been able to accomplish high school. We are very grateful for her teachers and the staff that have assisted us the past 2 years. I honestly don't think my daughter would have achieved her diploma without a school like this. Thanks again for all you and your school do for the students and parents. The next is from Cassandra Gomez. Being able to attend Innovation High School is a privilege for me. The teachers and staff are always looking out for you and want the best for you. When I went to public school, I was failing multiple classes, but when I transferred to Innovation High, I was able to get the help and support I needed to pass classes. There's also many resources at Innovation High that can help you do things such as get a job or make a plan for college or just your future in general. I really love Innovation High. It's helped me become a better student and more confident in myself. The next is from Ando. Why I like attending Innovation High. The reason why I like Innovation High School is because it is a place where I can strive for a good learning experience and to grow and become a better version of myself at the same time. Here in Innovation High, there are lots of students with different backgrounds and their own stories, which helps me to understand and appreciate the difference and diversity in people. All the students here work on their own schedule to help them manage and be more flexible with their well-being and life outside of school. I find myself working better when it comes to independent study. Therefore, this is perfect for me. Not only that, if I strive and work harder, I could even graduate earlier than those who are the same age as me. Our teachers here are truly devoted to the students. We can reach for help and advice whenever we want and need, not only on schooling, but we can talk to them about our lives and our problems. The school is a great place for me to be prepared for college, since we study in an accredited system. Moreover, there are many activities that furthermore help us in life, such as the college fair, or inviting people from different workplaces to come in and give a speech about how we can manage our time and money. In conclusion, Innovation High is a fantastic place for me to seek education and a stepping stone to better opportunities after graduation.
Nina, if I might, I got a feedback, some comment that it's a little hard to hear online. If there was a way you could maybe get just a little, get the mic a little closer. The folks online were having a little hard time hearing.
The next is from Senator Ling Ling Chang. Dear President Williams and OC Board of Education members, my office has worked closely with Orange County Workforce Innovation High School for the past 2 years to help at-risk students and the underserved return to school and change their story. It has been an honor collaborating with this charter school to assist students that once only knew despair, who now have hope and bright futures. OC Workforce Innovation High School is an accredited high school set up university style to serve at-risk youth in my district and surrounding areas. Students have a flexible schedule, receive individualized attention, a personalized learning plan, and wraparound services. Services include on-site counseling, supplies for parenting teams, life skills support, food assistance, transportation, and more. OC Workforce Innovation High School has incorporated a trauma-informed resilience building approach. Additionally, the school prepares students for their future by providing the soft skills needed for resume writing, job interviews, career preparedness, and job readiness. Moreover, OC Workforce Innovation High School has a proven track record of successfully graduating students who were once high school dropouts. The school supports hard-to-reach populations by equipping students for success in the workforce and beyond. By extending this important charter, OC Workforce Innovation High School will be able to continue their great work of providing individualized attention through its personalized learning model to at-risk students in our local community. Youth who were in the school-to-prison pipeline will have the opportunity to follow a new trajectory a school to career pathway. With enthusiasm and without reservation, I highly recommend Orange County Workforce Innovation High School for renewal of their charter. Please do not hesitate to contact me if you have additional questions. To the board members of Orange County Department of Ed, my name is Lauren Vitale, and I have been the school counselor at Learn for Life Innovation High School for the past 2 years. During my time at Innovation High School, I have had the privilege and honor of watching my students not only grow academically, but personally and emotionally as well. Innovation High School prides itself on being a safe space and home for our students to discover who they want to become within their own academic goals and mindsets. Our one-on-one instruction and trauma response care provide our students with the attention and direction that they need to feel successful as they conquer rigorous curriculum and establish confidence as lifelong learners. I am most proud of Innovation High School's ability to serve students from all walks of life and truly meet students where they are on their individual, personal, and educational journey. Working with students that are parenting, on probation, foster, and homeless youth has shown me how resilient and strong our youth can be when they have a team who believes in them wholeheartedly. It is our responsibility and joy to provide a space for our students to have a trusted adult, a hot meal, or personal care items, and a safe place to learn. Most of our at-promise students at Innovation High School arrive with barriers and hesitation of educational success and personal connection within an academic setting. Our teachers and support staff work together to re-engage students on a personal level so that they can find the confidence they need to be successful and feel academic achievement. We treat our students with respect and work diligently to understand them and find individual and personal ways to motivate and support their goals, highlighting that academic success is linked to personal success. Every day, I am grateful to work at Innovation High School, where there is a student in front of everything we do. With gratitude, Lauren Bertelli. To the Orange County Department of Education, I have always believed that having a solid education is the foundation to a successful start in life. As a child, my parents have preached to me the value of education and why education is an investment to one's future. I became a teacher to pass on my parents' words of wisdom to my students. I have been teaching for over 10 years. I began my teaching career in a district and have continued my career at a charter school, which is presently Innovation High School. I have taught in overcrowded classrooms, small groups, and one-on-one instruction. In all of these settings, my students have taught me patience, an open mind, and resilience. I see their strengths and their struggles. I understand their frustration. I also see that not all of them learn the same way. Unfortunately, some end up dropping out of school. Working at Innovation High School the last 8 years have solidified my belief that hope is not lost. The school's model of education is unlike other traditional settings, and because of this independent study model, this type of setting gives students another chance, an opportunity to continue their studies and fulfill their dreams. We have provided the type of environment for those students who thrive in a setting that caters to their needs. Graduation at Innovation High School holds a special place in my heart because every year I see my students walk down the aisle to receive their diploma. I know them personally. I know their story. They are the teen parents who have to work to support their child. They are the students with a tragic past. They are the students seeking redemption. All students are our students, each one with their own story. And we listen. We listen to understand. Together, we seek solutions to support the whole student. We hold them to the same standards as we do for every student. We personalize our instruction to close their learning gaps. In this setting, we work closely with all staff members, from the front desk to the counselor, to the tutors, to the retention support specialist. Our tiers of support have helped many students graduate because we continue to believe in them even when they have lost hope in themselves. We are another beacon of hope for them. We are their voice when they can't speak for themselves. Education is a universal human right that is born to all students in this country. I believe that we have a duty to educate future generations, and in acknowledging that no student is the same, we also need to acknowledge that not all students learn in the same way, the same environment, or the same setting. Therefore, it would be in the students' best interest to continue our charter renewal because for some, we are their last hope. With gratitude, Henrietta Bean. The last one is from Supervisor Don Wagner. Dear President Williams and OC Board of Education members, Orange County Workforce Innovation High School serves at-risk students and helps them return to school, giving them a second chance at having a bright future. OC Workforce Innovation High School has also successfully graduated students who have previously dropped out of high school. Many of these youth were headed toward the criminal justice system, but have chosen to make positive life changes. Orange County Workforce Innovation High School is an accredited high school, but it is structured more like a university. Students are offered a flexible schedule, individualized attention and personalized learning plans, wraparound services, including on-site counseling, supplies for parenting, life skills support, food, transportation, and anything needed to help students be successful in their studies, and workforce preparation, including resume writing and job interviewing skills. Orange County Workforce Innovation High School deserves to have its charter extended because it fills an essential community need. The students who come to OC Workforce are motivated to pursue careers to provide for themselves and their families. Now, they need our support. I highly recommend Orange County Workforce Innovation High School for renewal of their charter because of its important mission and excellent service to the community. Sincerely, Don Wagner. And that concludes the public comments.
This concludes the public hearing. The Orange County Department of Education staff report will be published on December 22nd, and the board will take action at the January 6th meeting. Representatives from Orange County Workforce Innovation High School are available in person and via video conference to answer questions. President Williams, I now close the public hearing and turn the meeting back over to you.
Very good. Thank you, Araceli. Judy, I just got to know, who was that young man who was rapping? That was pretty impressive.
He's a student of ours, and so that's a part of our CTE program. So they are CTE teachers that teach them from the start how to use the camera and then to video production. So we have a green room. In addition to that, we've done a couple years ago, we did a Rock the Vote drive where that was the beginning of the presentation where the kids learned that. So that is a student of ours that is filmed from our students.
Pretty impressive.
Yes,
Pretty
absolutely.
impressive. Okay, so for the board, we're doing the public hearing, and then in January, we will actually be making the decision. Are there any other questions or comments from my colleagues?
I want to make sure I understand the name right. So sometimes it's OC Workforce Innovation High School, but I also hear Learn for Life, right?
Yes.
Okay, so when is what title appropriate? What's the difference?
So we're chartered with you guys, Orange County Workforce Innovation High School, but as a network of nonprofits, the entity Learn for Life is the trademark for all of us.
I see.
So.
Yeah. No, I think you guys are doing a great job. I know I've toured the Anaheim location, and it's just great to see happy kids that seem like they belong, and they're doing, something special that they wouldn't do someplace else. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Any other comments from my fellow colleagues? Barring that, I don't see any. Thank you very much, Judy, for coming
Appreciate
up.
it.
We'll see you back in January.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Have a good evening.
Merry Christmas to you and happy Thanksgiving. That's how far ahead I'm thinking. Okay. Moving on to agenda item number 12. This is a charter public school hearing for Innovate Legacy College Prep Renewal. And we will have, once again, Araceli, if you will facilitate this portion of our meeting.
The board will now hold a hearing to consider public input regarding the renewal charter petition for Innovate Legacy College Prep. Legacy College Prep was approved for a 5-year term from July 16th through June 2021. The school is eligible for a 5-year charter renewal. On October 7th, Legacy College Prep submitted a renewal charter petition. The petitioner has agreed to a 90-day extension, to a 1-day extension beyond the 90 days allotted in Education Code for review and decision of a charter petition in order to accommodate the board's regularly scheduled meetings. Prior to public comments, representatives from Legacy College Prep are allotted 15 minutes to address the board. Santa Ana Unified School District has declined the option to speak. The board now recognizes Dr. Jesse Noonan, Chief Academic Officer for Innovate Legacy College Prep. Dr. Noonan, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, Teresa, and thank you so much to the board members for having us here this evening, allowing to join virtually. My name is Dr. Jesse Noonan. I'm Chief Academic Officer at Innovate Legacy College Prep, and we're so happy to be here tonight. I'm so glad to introduce our presentation of the wonderful work that's happening at our schools and our incredible principal, Evelyn Castro. We're really proud of the work of Principal Castro and the leadership team, teachers, students, and families that are served by our school. And we look forward to answering any questions you may have for us this evening.
Welcome, board members and community members. It is an honor to welcome you to Legacy College Prep. We are here at our beautiful home. It is also an honor to speak to you today on behalf of our staff, our students, and our families, and share with you a little bit about our amazing accomplishments over the last 4 years, and also what our goals and hopes are for the upcoming years as we continue to serve our students and families here in the Santa Ana community. My name is Evelyn Castro, the proud principal of Legacy College Prep, and my hope is that through this short presentation, I am able to connect with you and share a little bit about what the great work that we've been doing at Legacy, and also what we hope we are able to continue in years to come with your support as we present to you our charter renewal petition for 2021 through 2026. Before you have an opportunity to hear from some of our students and our parents, I want to be able to give you a quick introduction and some context in terms of the amazing work we've been doing as a school. You have a picture here of our beautiful building. This picture means a lot to me as it represents that we are officially a pillar, a part of the Santa Ana community. And we hope that through this building, we're able to serve our students and families years to come. One of my most important jobs as a principal is definitely hiring great talent and ensuring that they are being developed. So you see a picture here of our staff, who are the people that make the magic happen in our building. Some context here for all of you. We serve a diverse population. You can see a map picture here at the top. The majority of our students are from the Santa Ana community, but we do have students who come from surrounding Orange County cities as well as cities outside of Orange County. We currently, in our 5th year, have had the pleasure of now serving 9th through 12th grade for the 2nd year. And as you can see here again, we have a diverse population. Currently, we have about 80% of our students who are social economically disadvantaged. We serve 11% of our students who have learning differences. We also have 30% of students who are considered English language learners, and we have a few students who are foster and homeless youth. So a pretty diverse population, but our awesome personalized college prep learning model really allows us to support each of them based on their specific needs. As a growing school, we also now have a lot of siblings, a lot of cousins. Most of our students find out about our school through their families, through other families. So it's been a pleasure to see our school grow in this way. I am really proud of this picture here. It is something that in 2016, when we were starting our school, back then it was a dream. But one of the promises that I make to families as they join our school is that at Legacy College Prep, we'll work with the family, we'll work with the student to ensure that every single one of them have a 4-year university as an option when they graduate. And we're really proud that 99% of our seniors who graduated in 2020 were admitted to 4-year universities. A variety of them, from Cal States to UCs to private schools. We also had many of them get admitted to these universities on full rides. So we have students at UCLA, we have a student at Yale, we have students in different parts of the country now with a lot of financial support. That's definitely been a blessing to be able to witness. And what allows us to be able to get this accomplishment, right? And how will we ensure that this continues to be what is true for our future graduating classes? We have a learning model at our school that is 3 pillars. The first one is our college prep pillar. And through this pillar, really what our hope is that we really meet the student where they're at. And through our personalized learning model, we're really able to support all of our students based on their unique needs. All of our students are taking A through G courses. We also have an integrated AP model, like we don't do tracking, that has allowed us to see so much success. Our AP courses have great passage rates. All of our students also take the ACT. They actually start in freshman year as opportunities to practice. Our quarterly interim assessments are aligned to the ACT. So that by the time they're taking the official one, right, they're doing the best that they can, allowing them to have open doors for the future. Our students are also dually enrolled in courses at Santa Ana College, and they also have a college counselor who actually has a class with them their senior year. And then once they graduate, they're working with our alumni counselor to ensure that they are still being supported. On top of that, right, as a high school, we were able to participate in CASP. Unfortunately, just for 1 year, given the pandemic, but really proud of our first year's data, right? Our seniors, our class of 2020, participated in the CASP as juniors, and really proud to see we are here, the orange, that in both English and in math, they are already right in our very first year, outperforming our legacy resident schools. And you can see here also how we compared to OCDE as well as the state averages in CASP-ELA in math. And the same is true for our subgroups. I shared that, we do survey diverse population and we care a lot about equity. So we always look at subgroup data, both internally as well as in external assessments. And proud of this number too, proud to see that our students in different subgroups were also did fairly well. Of course, academics is our priority pillar, and it's, again, the promise that we make to all of our families. But there's other components of our school that also really matter and are a heart of what we do, particularly in the arts. We have an amazing music program. So all of our students are taking 1, 2, or 3 years of a band. They are learning how to play different instruments. This year, actually, we were getting ready to launch our marching band, and we hope to be able to do that right once we return back to campus. But it's been an amazing to see our students do this really well. And this has continued in distance learning. Our college prep does not stop. We continue to provide our students with daily opportunities to meet with their teachers through live Zoom classes that they join. We have great attendance. Our average daily ADA is about 96% in the virtual setting. And we've allowed also to continue some of the systems and the structures and the traditions that existed in the in-person setting. So for example, we hold quarterly parent conferences, and although we've been virtual, we have continued to been able to meet with every single one of our parents through one-on-one quarterly conferences. So we just had the ones for this past quarter about 3 weeks ago, and it was great connecting with our students and their families one-on-one. And other components, like, for example, having representatives from different universities meet with our students, which was true in the in-person setting, we've been able to continue that virtually. The second pillar of our school is community. This is definitely the heart of our school. We know that research says that students learn best from adults that they know really care about them. And we do this in a variety of ways. of course, through their courses and through their teachers. But also we have a very unique advisory program. So all of our students travel together in their cohort for 4 years. They see their advisor every single day. In the virtual setting, the advisory is so critical. It is what allows us to have a strong pulse check on how our students are doing. And again, then the advisor gets to graduate them. Our parents, too, are amazing. We partner with them for many, many things. It is one of the most critical aspects of my job, the parent engagement piece. And it's been a blessing to have their support and know that that is also how we continue to recruit, right? What they share about our school and their experience has allowed us to continue to grow as a school. Also in the community component, we've continued to prioritize this in the virtual setting even more because we know that we don't get to see our students in person. So this comes through many events, traditions that we put on social media. Definitely encourage you to follow us if you're not yet. And an example of this, I'm really looking forward to this Friday. We will have our traditional quarter awards where we give awards for students' performance in the previous quarter. So we'll get to give our students awards for quarter one. Parents are invited to this, and we'll still hold quarter awards. They will happen virtually, but the feeling, right, and what typically happens during the event will stay consistent. Lastly, our pillar of purpose is really important. We want to ensure that our students are discovering their passions, they're discovering their purpose, especially if our mission as an Innovate organization is for them to create positive multi-generational change. Knowing what their passions are is critical. And they get to explore this through sports, through clubs. Typically in the regular school year, we have over 35 clubs that we offer at our school and also over 15 sports. Right now in the virtual setting, we've been able to continue that. We currently have over 20 virtual club offerings, extracurriculars that our students can participate in. We also have a project-based learning model. Our students every quarter are doing great projects to put their skills that they're learning in classes into action. And they also do community service. They're able to engage with their community and provide supports as an opportunity to discover their passions and their interests. And we know that all of this is possible with also ensuring that in terms of governance, we are keeping a responsibility to our community. And we have very strong systems of accountability when it comes to governance that allows us, again, to have a phenomenal program, particularly around our budget. There's a very pre, during, and post process that happens in connection to our budget. As a principal, I feel really supported there. And we, have monthly meetings with different team members to ensure that we are running a budget that really allows us to hire quality staff and that allows us to provide our students with great programming. So with this, again, thank you so much for your time, for allowing me to connect with you. And now I hope that you are also able to hear from our students. So here joining me now will be some of our students to share a little bit about their experience. Thank you for your time, and I hope that we can continue to collaborate for many years to come.
Here at Legacy College Prep, I had never been more challenged yet supported at the very same time. When I was in middle school, I was first introduced to my first honors classes, and I struggled a lot, and my grades started to suffer, and I received no support from my teachers. So when I came here, I was met with support and encouragement and endearment, and just made me want to challenge myself more and do more classes. So, for example, I hated math before, but now I love math, taking AP calculus, and now I want to major in it when I'm in college. So yeah, if I went into any other place, I feel like I would not have thrived as much as I have when I came here. So that's why I support Legacy College Prep.
Unlike any other high school that I was thinking of attending as a freshman, Legacy offered advisory. Advisory is when a teacher known as an advisor is assigned with a specific amount of students. That advisory stays together for all 4 years of high school. Advisory was very important for me and my parents, as it's giving me and other students a center of support, giving students a reference to community, including the start of a friendship that molds into love. I don't know what Legacy would be like without an advisory, even though virtual learning has brought a sense of community and has stood strong. Advisory ends up giving everyone a sense of hope for the future and comfort for all the students at Legacy.
You can never deny the fact the Legacy has one thing that can outrank any other school: the power that could give people purpose and value. Without Legacy, I would have never found out many stuff about me, like my love for books, what's called the many clubs and organizations I joined, even finding out my career choice. Without Legacy, whether it be teachers, students, organizations, enrichments, activities, whatever, I never would have been the person that I am today.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Guadalupe Gervasio. Mi hija está en el grado 12 y mi hijo en el grado 10 en Legacy College Prep. El por qué tengo a mis hijos en Legacy es antes que nada porque puedo estar tranquila de que mis hijos se quedan en un lugar seguro cada día en el que asisten a la escuela. Lo segundo es que están recibiendo una excelente educación académica y una buena preparación para ir a la universidad. También algo muy importante es que les inculcan valores y el respeto hacia los demás. Y algo que me gusta y agradezco mucho es ver la conexión que tienen mis hijos con sus maestros y que saben que pueden contar con ellos ya sea en lo académico como a nivel personal. Lo último es que en general tanto el personal como los maestros son excelentes y siempre me siento bienvenida y escuchada. Y desde el primer día me he sentido apoyada en la educación de mis hijos. Y puedo decir que nada de esto ha cambiado debido a la pandemia, sino al contrario, hemos recibido el apoyo necesario para que ellos sigan aprendiendo, al igual que si estuvieran en un salón de clases.
Thank you so much for your time today. It was a pleasure to connect with you. And as we shared, our hope is to continue to serve our community so that we can create positive multi-generational change.
Thank you, Dr. Noonan. The hearing is now open for public comments. Associate Superintendent Boyd, are there any additional public speakers for this agenda item?
There are two. Good afternoon. My name is Alejandra Tapia, and I'm the mother of a 12th grade student, Ethan Tapia. These past 4 years have been spectacular. The teachers and faculty have supported Ethan to fulfill his goal of going directly to college. His advisor, Ms. Hernandez, is the most dedicated person that I know. She has guided Ethan as he achieves his goal of going straight to college. My son now has a GPA of 4.89. Legacy has offered him different clubs and activities where he can grow and develop his interests. Ms. Held is one who always supported Ethan by ensuring that he feels comfortable and asking for suggestions on what interests the students have. This gives Ethan great confidence to express himself. Legacy also gives him the opportunity to travel and see other places and learn about their cultures and traditions. Also, they have traveled to different universities for college tours. The rigorous academics have helped Ethan think on a college level. Teachers have supported him and challenged him to take advanced level classes. Parents become a family community by participating in activities and workshops for parents. And let's not forget the famous Coffee with the Principal with Miss Castro, where we are kept informed of all events and our opinions as parents are heard. Legacy leaves a legacy in our family by fulfilling the dream that Ethan will be the first in our family to go to college. Please support our school's renewal. Thank you. Good afternoon. I am asking for your support for Legacy College Prep. My name is Elsa Meja, and my son is Ian, and he is currently in the 12th grade. I would like to share my reasons why I support Legacy College Prep. Starting with the academic environment, the staff is highly capacitated in teaching. They strive to provide personalized learning so every student can learn and understand each subject. Second, the school and cultural environment. The school, teachers, and everyone involved in academics are interested in and motivate each student's development to strive to being the best to bring the best in each student. They listen, they know them, they know their likes, their talents, their success, and teach each one of them to support their peers and their own community. Third, inside the school, the staff is always interested in all the students. They are always motivating them in their learning, in mutual respect, and the values inside the school, inside their home, and the community. They prepare them for college success and even workforce success. They also support us, the parents. Many that do not know the native language, which is my case. My student receives support as an English learner as well. They always keep us informed about their education updates. They always ask for our opinions and feedback through surveys and through monthly workshops, which touch on many important topics. These workshops help us parents on how to help our students, like with mental wellness. This is a good school, a good institution, and I am very appreciative that my son has been here. Legacy is more than a school, it's a family. That concludes the public comments that were submitted.
This concludes the public hearing. The Orange County Department of Education staff report will be published on December 22nd, and the board will take action at the January 6th meeting. Representatives from Legacy College Prep, Dr. Noonan and Principal Evelyn Castro are available via video conference to answer questions. President Williams, I now close the public hearing and turn the meeting back over to you.
Very good. Thank you, Araceli. And to Dr. Jesse Noonan and Principal Evelyn Castro, thank you for being online. It's good to see your smiling faces. You will be back with to us there on January 7th at our next board meeting. But in the meanwhile, are there any questions or any comments by my board members?
No, I love the video though. Thanks for the presentation. Gave me a great feel for what's going on.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, barring that there none. Okay. Thank you very much, Evelyn and Jesse. Appreciate it. We're going to be moving on with our board agenda. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you all so much.
Very good. Okay. So again, January 6th meeting will be making the decision for Ednovate. Moving on to agenda item number 13. It's a public hearing for the Irvine International Academy. This is an appeal from Irvine Unified School District. And Araceli, once again, you'll go ahead and facilitate this hearing.
The board will now hold a hearing to consider public input regarding the Irvine International Academy Charter Petition Appeal submitted on October 8th after denial by the Irvine Unified School District Governing Board. Prior to public comments, representatives from Irvine International Academy and Irvine Unified School District are allotted 15 minutes each to address the board. Irvine Unified School District has submitted a written statement by superintendent.
This and this. So this is superintendent's a circle and this is a mini. Okay.
Irvine Unified School District has submitted a written statement by Superintendent Terry Walker to be read into the record. I will read that statement now. Dear President, Dr. Williams, and members of the Orange County Board of Education, on behalf of Irvine Unified School District Board of Education and myself, I would like to thank you for this opportunity to provide input regarding the appeal of the Irvine International Academy from the denial of their charter petition by the Board of Education of the Irvine Unified School District. The Board of Education believes that charter schools are an integral component of the public school system in California. Charter schools provide parents with additional educational options for their children, create new professional opportunities for teachers, and provide rigorous competition within the public school system when operated with financial accountability and reasonable budgetary projections. However, with respect to the Irvine International Academy, a number of deficiencies were again identified, including financial concerns and instructional issues. As you may recall, earlier this year, the Orange County Board of Education denied Irvine International Academy's appeal. While some changes have been made since then, many of the same deficiencies remain. The key concerns of the Irvine Unified School District Board of Education were the budget and financial information provided by Irvine International Academy has resulted in a lack of confidence in the ability of the proposed budget to meet the school's needs and ensure quality education to students. The proposed budget does not provide information regarding the size or the terms and conditions of the sale of IIA's future state apportionments to Charter Asset Management. The district did not receive any documents outlining terms and conditions of the sale or the projected amount of the sale, despite a request by the district for the documents. IIA does not provide a letter of intent from Charter Asset Management to the district or any supporting documentation that would indicate that the school has secured the borrowing or the projected amount of the sale. It is unclear how IIA will have the capital necessary to open and operate a new school, particularly if fewer students enroll in IIA than are projected. In fact, without an infusion of funds and based on the projections provided by IIA, the charter will have a negative cash balance in the startup year and in multiple months during the first year of operation. The charter petition projects an enrollment of 384 students in TK through 5th grade in the first year. It is unclear how IIA determined this projected enrollment, which is a large increase over last year's projection of 128 students. If this large increase in projected enrollment does not materialize, IIA will not have sufficient funds to operate the school. The proposed budget is unclear as to the total compensation paid to Executive Director Michael Scott. The proposed budget appropriates insufficient funds for competitive salaries and medical benefits for teachers and other employees, which will make it difficult for IIA to recruit and retain qualified employees. For example, the Irvine Unified School District's average starting teacher salary is $71,300, while IIA is projecting a starting teacher salary of $60,000. It is difficult to ascertain how the charter school will attract the very specialized teachers necessary to teach an immersion program with this disparity in compensation. The proposed budget allocates only $6,000 per employee toward medical benefits, which will result in IIA employees receiving medical benefits with large deductibles, large copays, and large premium contributions. Once again, the district pays over $11,000 to provide benefits to IUSD employees. The proposed budget does not include expenses for food services. IIA asserts that the food service program is cost neutral, but that has not been the district's experience. The charter petition does not clearly describe how IIA's instructional program will be implemented. The charter petition does not adequately describe how IIA will implement interventions and learning strategies and supports at each tier of intervention to assist and support student learning. The charter petition includes a number of vague and unmeasurable instructional goals. Other instructional goals are internally inconsistent as to levels of mastery. The charter petition is based on visual and performing arts content from an old and inapplicable framework from 2001. The Irvine Unified School District Board of Education is particularly concerned that IIA has grossly overstated its projected enrollment, which will result in a significant financial shortfall. IIA's large increase in projected enrollment from last year's 128 students to 384 students without any documentation or explanation for the large increase is troubling and inexplicable. IIA has not advised the district of any significant recruitment efforts since last year. In addition, IIA has not submitted any new intent to enroll forms from 2020 to the district, but rather submitted the same intent to enroll forms from 2019. The failure to submit any new intent to enroll forms from 2020 indicates a lack of parental interest in IIA and a lack of effort on the part of IIA to recruit students in 2020. Many of the students who signed intent to enroll forms in fall 2019 may no longer be interested in enrolling their children in IIA in fall of 2021. IIA provided no recent documentation confirming that parents were still interested in enrolling in IIA for 2021. The Board of Education determined that IIA charter petition presented an unsound educational program, did not contain a reasonably comprehensive description of all the elements required by law, and that IIA is demonstrably unlikely to successfully implement its program. For these reasons, the Board of Education of the Irvine Unified School District denied IIA's charter petition. We would also urge you to consider the implications of COVID-19 for opening a dual immersion school. Finding bilingual substitutes, let alone teachers in this environment, especially with the salaries IIA is suggesting, will be virtually impossible. While Irvine Unified was one of the very first school districts in California to reopen to in-person instruction at all levels, and we remain committed to continuing and expanding in-person instruction for our students, we also understand the incredible challenges and complexities of doing so safely. Many established school districts continue to struggle with this challenge. We do not believe that IIA has the capacity or the knowledge to recruit, serve, or support students during this unprecedented time. In fact, we have great concerns that students who may already be struggling with learning loss will fall even further behind in a school that lacks the leadership, expertise, and experience to navigate these absurdly challenging times. Thank you for your time and consideration regarding the concerns of the Board of Education of the Irvine Unified School District. We hope that you will take all these concerns into consideration in making your decision on IIA's charter petition charter petition appeal. Sincerely, Terry L. Walker, Superintendent of Schools, Irvine Unified School District. I now call representatives from Irvine International Academy, Executive Director Dr. Michael Scott, Principal Stephen Schwang, and Board Member Doug Hewson to the podium.
Well, Superintendent Maharis and trustees, it's a privilege to be with you again. It's been several months, and what a joy to be here and just to reflect on all of the accomplishments of the other charters and schools earlier tonight. In particular, when Vista Condor shared that it had been 3 years since they'd made a promise, and then tonight they got to say, we're ready to fulfill the promise. I look forward to 3 or 4 or 5 years from now when we can say the same thing. I serve as our board chair, and tonight we're going to continue the conversation we had several months ago. It ended with this phrase. You looked at us and you said, you're almost there. And we took that to heart and really appreciated the deep evaluation that this Board of Trustees gave our initial petition. And tonight, I want to just tell you from my perspective, we've come to the place where we're ready. I hope you'll agree when you take a deeper look over the coming couple of months and we appear before you again in January. Tonight, I'm going to allow most of the time to be spent in our presentation by our principal, Stephen Chung. What a great addition to this team and this community. He spent 4 years running a immersion school, a Mandarin immersion school in Northern California. He earned a distinguished school recognition during that time, and so excited for you to meet him. The team has been built out fairly broadly. We now have Athena Solutions, which has been doing for about 10 years charter management and budgeting. And having been one who has managed a school site budget, the budget that we now have is both real world, conservative, and wherein maybe others have the perspective of cash flow problem, we have that resolved, and we'll share with you in detail in paper and pro formas that will, I think, satisfy you. Also in teacher recruiting, we have Winnie Abreu. You'll hear from her briefly. But we've already been able to have 18 commitments from teachers, 9 of which are Mandarin speakers. And so some of the issues that you raised before, I think you'll feel much, much better about. And so at this time, I want to invite Stephen Chung, resident here in Orange County, to introduce himself and share a little bit about his vision as our principal.
Dear Dr. Williams, Board Trustees, Superintendents, good evening. My name is Stephen Chuang. Next slide, please. I came here when I was 26 to study master's degree in Philadelphia to start my journey of American dream. And then I have been an educator for more than 20 years. And 19 of them are related to the teaching and administration of Chinese programs in the United States. Back in year of 2001, there were very few Chinese programs in the United States, but I was able to persuade the School District of Philadelphia to start the first Chinese program in Philadelphia, and later fully expanded with AP and IB courses. And then in 2016, I moved from Philadelphia to San Mateo in the Bay Area to become the school principal of College Park Elementary School with a Mandarin immersion program from 2016 to 2020. And I moved here in August. So in the past, next slide, please. Thank you. In the past 12 years, I was also involved with the startup programs, which was funded by the National Security Agency. The purposes of this federal grant are to increase the number of students enrolled in the study of critical languages, such as Arabic, Russian, Chinese, Hindi, and Urdu, to increase the number of highly effective critical language teachers in the United States, and to increase the number of highly effective materials available to the teachers and students of critical need languages. And I have also trained many teachers to teach Mandarin from different states. And during my principalship at College Park Elementary School, I spent so many nights writing the proposal to apply for the startup grant and was funded over $160,000 to run 2 summer programs to increase students' proficiency in both languages. And these were all volunteer work. And next, with my rich experience in training teachers and also years of experience of running startup programs, I was invited to be an evaluator to go to different states to evaluate the startup program. So our intention to open the Irvine International Academy with a Mandarin immersion program is identical with the purposes of this federal grant. Sorry, I don't know why my heart is racing. We ask you to consider favorably upon our petition because there is a strong need for Chinese program nationally as well as in Irvine. Parents can enroll their students in Irvine instead of sending them to all these different neighboring school districts. Next slide, please. Many studies and data have proven that immersion programs succeed in different ways. That explains why there will be more new Mandarin immersion programs open in Southern California, such as Rowland Heights, Pasadena, South Pasadena, West Covina, El Monte City, and many more. Next slide, please. There are many benefits of having language immersion programs. Students will not only become bilingual and bilingual, but also will outperform their peers in regular school after the 3rd grade. Next slide, please. Here is the data from California School Dashboard data for 2017, 18, 19, when I was the principal at College Park Elementary School. Our ELA score is 86 points above standard and 92 points above standard in math. And we make 96% progress for ELL learner and also hit the blue chart for our absenteeism and suspension rate. And next slide, please. And in 2008, our ELA score is 92 points above standard and 92 points above standard in math. Next slide, please. For 2019, just keep on. Our ELA score is 91 points above standard and 95 points above standard for math. Because of everyone's hard work, next slide, please. Thank you. Because of everyone's hard work and the strong support from the community and the district and the startup funding, College Park was identified as a 2018 Distinguished School for its high academic performance. Next slide, please. And in 2019, HR Society sent a team to observe our program and then identify College Park as an exemplary school for its Mandarin immersion model. Next slide, please. For our IIA team, we have our active board members and our executive director, Dr. Michael Scott, who has experience running charter school, and me as an experienced principal in running top performing school in San Mateo State School District. Next slide, please. So currently we have 10 teachers who will be willing to join our team who have appropriate California credential, and 9 of them are Chinese teachers, and they have experience in teaching Mandarin program in the United States. Next slide, please. Once we open our Mandarin program, we will duplicate the successful model from College Park, and it will be one-way partial immersion, 50-50 model, half day English and half day Mandarin. There's no requirement for 50% of native speaker. Next slide, please. And our curriculum will follow the Common Core standards, which means students will not only learn daily conversation in both languages, but also learn both languages through different content area. Next slide, please. For our students, compare with students who take a foreign language from 9th grade to 12th grade, they will have 24 hours of language instruction instead of 5 hours per week. Next slide, please. And for our kinder, they will have longer day, starting from 8:15 to 2 o'clock instead of 12:30 in other regular school. Next slide, please. When students move to the first grade, they will be dismissed at 2:45 on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and Wednesday will be minimum day. Students will be dismissed at 12:35. And our student will attend PE class for 25 minutes every day, which will meet the state standard. Next slide, please. Our teacher will implement small group instructions every day, since we know each student will learn at different pace. So through small group instruction, teacher can offer targeted instruction to meet each individual student's need. And also during small group instruction, our Mandarin teacher will send half of the class to do the PE and do small group instruction and then flip each day. Next slide, please. Small group time enables students to have access to high quality interaction with their teachers, and teachers get to know each student better so they can modify the instruction to meet each individual student's needs. Next slide, please. Okay, next slide, please. For our social emotional learning, we will implement PBIS school-wide, a so-called positive behavior intervention and support system. We will have the PBIS handbook ready for our staff in place, and we will use first 2 half days in the beginning of the school to teach our students our expectations in different locations. Our teacher will also deliver weekly second step lessons to reinforce the expectation we have for them. Next slide, please. And then we listed in our petition that immersion schools succeed. For example, the Irvine Charter School in Oakland is another high-performing school, and College Park Elementary School in San Mateo is another high-performing school. And we do offer extra support during the morning and after school. We call morning mentoring help or early intervention support for ELA. If students need improvement in ELA, they can join that program from 7:15 to 8 o'clock every day. Same with the mentoring, we call mentoring morning help every day. And then for after school, we offer mentoring help from 2:45 to 3:15, 30 minutes every day. Same with ELA intervention. For our kinder, since students are dismissed at 2 o'clock, so they have 45 minutes to help students who need extra support. Thank you. That's my presentation today.
Your time is up.
Stick around for questions. No, I mean close by. Right? With the last few minutes before questions, I do want to have an
Excuse
opportunity.
me, that was your 15 minutes.
Was that it? Okay,
Yeah.
then we're just available for questions then online. We won't do any more. Thank you.
The hearing is now open for public comments. Associate Superintendent Boyd, are there any public comments for this agenda item?
There are none.
This concludes the public hearing. The Orange County Board of Education staff report will be published on December 22nd, and the board will take action at the January 6th meeting. Representatives from Irvine International Academy are available in person and via video conference to answer questions. President Williams, I now close the public hearing and turn the meeting back over to you.
Excuse me, pardon me. Two of our people are online on Zoom, did not have time to talk. Could they take public comment 1 and 2?
I have no problems with that, and I assume my board colleagues do not either, but how do we do this technically from a technology perspective? Can we do it?
Well, they're on. We just didn't have them down that they were making public comments. We just thought they were participating to answer questions. So if we can do it, I can time them for 3 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
So which
okay
individuals?
Delano Jones with Athena Advanced Solutions and Winnie King Rude.
Okay, those
From
two, just those
Cal
two.
State Fullerton.
Okay. Give me just a moment. Mr. Jones, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. You can begin with your public comments, and I will let you know when your 3 minutes are up.
Thank you so much. Good evening, board trustees, superintendent, staff, and general public. I am here to speak. My name is Delano Jones, and I represent Athena Advanced Solution. And I have been working with the folks with Irvine International over the course of the past 6 months in developing the budget and gearing up for this moment. I'm here to support and speak primarily on the areas surrounding the budget and the fiscal portions of the charter. I believe what we have is a strong budget that's realistic, it's viable, it's soluble, and I believe that this school will have no problem with being a success. In fact, I believe that there will be an asset to the Orange County Department of Ed. I welcome opportunities to discuss with staff in greater detail the budget and any questions that arise from that. And I look forward to eventually speaking with you all as well. And once again, Delano Jones with Athena Advanced Solution, and I'm here to speak in support of the Irvine International Academy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And Ms. Kang, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you fine. And you can begin speaking. I will let you know when 3 minutes are up if you haven't finished your public comments.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Winnie Kang Abreu. I'm one of the board members of Irvine International Academy, and I work as a program manager at the Cal State Fullerton Extension and International Programs. So my main duty over there is oversee the international teacher training programs at our campus. And our campus, we also have teaching credential programs. One of them is a bilingual authorization, which include Mandarin teacher credential training as well. And for our Extension International Program area, we work with various education departments in China. And we provide lots of teacher professional development training for those Chinese teachers. And we also can work with Irvine International Academy to provide the teacher training for the school for future needs. And thank you for the opportunity. And that's all I want to say.
Thank you. Okay, Dr. Williams, that's all of the public comments then.
Very good. Okay, Araceli, if you close this out then?
I believe she had closed us out
Did you close this out? Okay.
Move to Q&A.
Okay, very good. So we did our public comments, so we're going to have board questions, and I'll go ahead and lead us off there. And I will ask Mr. Mike Scott, Doug Huson to come up, and Dr. Stephen Chung. And I want to thank Mr. Delano Jones for talking regarding the budget. So it's been a few months since we last saw you at this meeting, and we denied your charter. What have you done differently to make it better? Dr. Scott.
Okay.
I'd like to hear from you.
All right. The main thing that we wanted to do is to strengthen the Mandarin portion of the school. And that was successfully done by the hiring of Stephen Chuang. He's already shared his experience, and he's been working with me in rewriting the petition and the experience that he brings by operating a Mandarin immersion school. The second thing is there are 10 teachers that have signed the petition. We are a teacher petition, not parents. And 9 of those are Mandarin credentialed teachers. That is just phenomenal. It's just impossible to find that many teachers. But Stephen's reputation has delivered that. And of course, when Winnie talked, she deals with credentialing Mandarin teachers. So one of our board members is in China half the year, Miller Shuang. And we have teachers that want to come to our school to work. And there's also an extension in Cal State Fullerton in Irvine. It's probably the main thing to share. We also are doing our SELPA application through El Dorado. We've passed stage 1.
Where's going to be your school located?
They have 2 locations in Irvine that are schools available. And the petition is one that's located on Cairn Street. That was offered last time to our Prop 39 request. That is probably going to be the first place that we'll look, but they do have another school site.
Where's that second school site?
It's really just 2 miles away on the other side of Irvine High School. It's now a resource center next to a middle school.
And it's Irvine Unified School District facilities, and you're going to get Prop 39.
Yes, and we've turned in the Prop 39 request.
Okay.
Which I should bring up one thing. The number of students when we first came through were only for grades TK, K, and first. We've added 4 extra grades since then. And many of the parents had me put them on a waiting list. And so we have 186 parents that are interested in attending the school. And of course, COVID has restricted our movements of meeting with parents.
Okay.
But that's 48%.
Yeah. How was your experience there getting the charter denied there, Irvine? Was it deja vu?
Well, it was a little bit even less than that. I was surprised that we still didn't have a meeting with anybody at the district. And then secondly, they did not give us the required amount of time, according to Ed Code, to respond during the meeting. We were given no time to respond to the presentation. And as you know, we're supposed to have an equal amount of time. In fact, they told us at first, don't even bother to come.
Really?
Yeah, they said that we could just maybe attend by Zoom, but really that there's no need for us to attend. So I would say less than deja vu.
That's disappointing. And of course, Dr. Terry Walker goes at you again and attacks you for a lack of leadership and expertise. And now you bring in Dr. Chung here. And,
Well, not doctor yet, but.
Yeah, not Dr. Yeah, I just want to clarify.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I
well,
thought
you,
so.
you certainly have a lot of experience, so that was very, very impressive. And Doug, to you, let me just ask my final question to you. Number one, I'm just real happy you guys came back and you didn't stop. You pursued it. You were committed to it, and that speaks volumes to the character of your board and to Dr. Scott. You guys went through a lot the last time around. I felt sorry for you, but I didn't think quite that you had it enough to get over the goal line here, but it looks really good right now. The big thing is going to be the budget. There was a lot of talk in Dr. Walker's letter that you I'll put it in his words, grossly over projected enrollments. It's a little bit misleading on his part because you did increase your by 3 grade levels. So 384, I bet you're going to have a big waiting list when you guys get up and going.
That's our belief too. And one of the truths as well about school site budgeting is that the large percentage of it is faculty, and faculty is determined by number of students. And so proportionally drops with the number of students. So there's a safeguard there. And I've managed a school about twice the size for 5 years. And I'm very confident in the budget we develop.
Also, I'd like you to bring Mr. Jones in January, because there's going to be a lot of questions asked directly from him. And we'd like to know about Athena Advanced Solutions, what they're going to be doing for you. That's a very important element.
We'll make sure he's available. And his 10 years of experience was actually with the #1 charter budgeting and management organization in California. And so he's a little more independent now, but the same guy that's done it for 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, did you notice they added 2 letters to my name? They snuck those in. I finished my law degree and I took the bar, but we won't know till January. So we'll celebrate doubly, hopefully.
I have a question. Yeah, I was just wondering if you all could respond to the Superintendent Walker's comments.
Well, we could do a whole response in written form, but in general, the ones on the budget, I think I just answered, and I have the experience to answer that one directly. With the pay of teachers, we're going to follow the Irvine pay scale. So he may be off on that, where he says we're offering 60 and they're offering somewhere closer to 75. We intend to follow the same thing. The issue he did raise that's valid is we are going to save a little bit of money on the benefit side, but that's not preventing us from recruiting.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering how you'd respond to the benefits part of it and how that factors in.
Well, the way it works is that we've allocated 6,000 is what he identified. We can share. We don't have to give 100% benefit, and we can also limit the family benefit. We can offer to the individual employee, but not necessarily an EF or an employee and family. So we'll manage it within our budget, but give enough to still attract and maintain people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could we have Delano answer anything he'd like to say?
Anything you'd add to that, Delano? I thought I was excellent, but
I think you were spot on in your explanation. I will add to this that the district has a long history, if you will, of offering a far richer benefits package than most startup charter schools. So comparing what the district offers to what the charter would offer in its first year is to me is totally unreasonable to have that expectation. But obviously, as the charter grows and strengthens and has reserves, it will be well within their purview to offer a far richer benefits package to its staff, because obviously that is something that will attract and retain not just teachers, but support staff as well. So I would like to add that to the record.
Thank you.
May I share my experience regarding enrollment Irvine Unified School District has? So based on my past experience, each year I had to host more than 8 campus tour for parents. Each tour will be like 50 parents. And almost like, every day, now I wouldn't say every day, like maybe one day in a week, I would get a phone call from parents yelling at me, "Are you telling me I just bought $1 million house and my kids cannot go to your school?" Because it's a lottery-based system, because we have so many applicants trying to get the 72 spots out of 300 parents apply. So just to let you know, we are really confident that we'll be able to fill in all the vacancy once we open.
Thank you.
And sorry to speak on that. 95% of his students were not Mandarin speakers. And the school is actually a little bit lower performing. That's why he did get the California Distinguished School Honor, because he had raised the score significantly and taught Mandarin. Mandarin is simply a tool for our kids. The real goal for our kids is to become creative problem solvers. That's what I call it in China. But here, we would call it critical thinkers. We want them to be able to work and be critical thinkers with each other as they prepare to go out and lead around the world. Mandarin, English is a key language in our economy around the world.
Becky, Tim, Mary?
Go ahead, Tim.
Okay, I had jotted down some of the notes from the letter from the district, and I think I heard the answer. I was going to ask you about the compensation, but as far as enrollment, did I hear correctly that by increasing the number of grades offered, that's how you get? I mean, they had made the suggestion that you just went from 128, I think it was, to 384 students, and therefore your budget problems were solved by having such a growth in enrollment. But is it just because
That was their statement, right?
I
from
understand.
petition to petition, but really it's the demand and interest and the experience from Principal Chong that tells us we can start with more than just kinder first. And so it's his background and experience that really led to that idea. And there's capacity at the physical site if we get the one that we're after.
Thank you.
Yeah. And welcome to the trustee role.
Thank you.
Mary, Becky?
Go ahead.
Okay, well, first of all, I'm not concerned about the salaries, because I think sometimes a teacher, like you say, you don't have to match, or I think Delano said, you don't have to match what the district who's been there forever. And sometimes the teacher will come for passion. So I'm not concerned about that. I would love to know, and you don't need to give me detail, but just where the capital is coming from, because I heard questions about capital. So just basically whoever wants to answer
Biggest
that.
issue for a charter is startup capital.
Mhm.
How do you survive until the average daily attendance dollars begin to flow?
Exactly.
Delano, how did you build that into our pro forma? Because as you get a chance to look a little bit deeper, you'll see the cash flows as well, and that we don't run out of money. That's the biggest issue. You want to talk at all about grants and or loans?
Yeah, so there are a number of resources, if you will, that we will bring to the startup of the school. Initially, the school is planning on applying for the Public Charter Schools Grant Program, which is roughly $450,000 that the charter will receive over a 3-year period. Secondary to that, as most of you, the trustees know, and you're aware that funding for schools in the first few months are a bit, if you will, off schedule for a charter in its first year. And allow me to clarify that. Charters will get a special advanced apportionment in their first year, but that does not arrive until late October, early November. So you can only imagine having a school that opens in, say, August, and having all the demands of having to provide resources to staff and students, that you will need a tremendous amount of support and capital up front. There are a number of entities within the charter school network and world, if you will, that offer programs that are called factoring of receivables. So basically what you're doing is you will be selling them. They will advance you a certain amount of capital up front based on your enrollment for a number of months. And once you receive your apportionment from the state, you will then use that to pay them back. And they can tailor a package for the school, for a size school such as this, 384 students. Obviously, that will be a nice amount of capital that they could borrow up front and come up with what I would consider reasonable terms in terms of payback. And they do not take the money back until you receive your apportionments. So it's not necessarily a loan in that sense. So those are the main avenues that most startup charter schools within the state utilize, unless, short of a rich uncle someplace. Most charter schools have utilized this same exact framework in terms of years 1 and 2 in order to be sustainable.
Thank you. Yeah. So, and I'm familiar with the factoring. I know it's pretty expensive and it's tough. Do you guys have any other maybe private investors that you might be?
We'll pursue those as well. And then Principal Chung was successful with fundraising as well from possible participants and then community at large that have the same heartbeat. There are quite a few people who are interested in this idea and willing to give to it. So we anticipate that as well. I would love it if we had no factoring for sure, attachments to our income and no loan. However, in our pro forma, we account for it so that we can show that we still have cash in the bank at the end of every month until really we get ahead of the curve. And that will be first year. It's not a problem. We'll have reserves by end of year 1 and then 2 and 3.
Okay. Yeah, I know once you get through the startup, so if you can do fundraising, that'd be a great option. The 450, how do you know when and if you would qualify and get that? I'm not.
Yeah.
The federal government just funded the grant program again in California. I talked with the people in Sacramento. The applications would come out either the 1st of December or the 1st of January.
Okay.
And you have to be chartered, of course, to receive it. So the timing is working out just perfectly.
Okay, great.
We have a conservative budget that never included these factors.
Okay.
And it still works.
Okay.
And
excellent. I think the only other question I would ask is for Stephen Chung. Why did you leave college? Was it college?
College Park?
Yes, College
Well,
Park.
as you can tell, it's so expensive to live there. I don't have so much money to buy $1 million house. Every house is over $1 million. So I just cannot afford to be there. So I moved to here.
It's hard to believe
Orange
it's
County.
cheaper in Orange County.
Yes,
but-
now instead of paying $2,600 rent, now I'm paying $1,800 mortgage to finally feel to be home here. Yeah.
Moving to Orange County for cheaper rent is not something you usually.
Well, in Tustin. In Tustin, physically. And, I wish, my former parents are here. When I, announced my departure, over 120 parents were at a board meeting persuading board trustees to, keep me.
Ah, gotcha.
But they just cannot purchase a house for me.
Yeah, I rarely hear of anyone moving here for house prices or gas prices.
Yeah.
So okay. All right, well, that's all I have for now. Thank you. I appreciate the presentation.
he's too modest to share. He has really put his heart into this effort, up to our start. This is what he's too modest to share. He moved down all of his stuff and his U-Haul was stolen.
Oh, no.
Oh.
But he's still here. I thought he was going to go back to Taiwan. But he's committed and staying with us.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate all of you being here and answering the questions. Thank you.
Oh, Delano Jones will be attending the capacity meeting on the 18th.
Excellent.
And then we'll try to get him here on January.
Right.
Very good. Becky?
Most of my questions were answered, but is it possible for us to get a copy of the statement from Superintendent Walker?
We'll send that to you.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's all I have.
By the way, most of his questions are answered already from our response to the Irvine, which was done by our lawyer. She's just excellent. I think you'll appreciate the answers.
Very good. Barring that there's no more questions, we want to thank you for coming here and presenting in front of us, and we'll see you on the January 6th meeting, and we'll make our decision at that time. Moving on with our board agenda here, there really is no agenda items that are active that we'll be voting on. So let's go to informational items, and we'll begin with our superintendent, Dr. Maharis.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. Just a couple of quick things I'd like to share with you. First of all, you may be aware that Placentia Yorba Linda Unified has hired a new superintendent. Dr. Greg Plutko is leaving. He will be there until December, but they have hired Jim Elsesser. He is the current superintendent in the Claremont Unified School District. He's formerly from Orange County. He has actually worked in Anaheim and Los Alamitos. So wanted you to be aware of that. I also want you to know that we have 5 schools in the county that were identified as National Blue Ribbon Schools, which is the highest form of distinction that you can receive here in our country. It's offered by the U.S. Department of Education, and it is given to exemplary schools who not only are achieving at the highest levels of academia, but they're also closing achievement gaps. So they have a population of students who need special support to close the achievement gap so that these students can also ascend up to the highest ranks. So I wanted you to be aware that the schools are Ethan B. Allen Elementary School in the Garden Grove Unified School District, Laguna Road Elementary School in the Fullerton School District, Vista Verde School in the Irvine Unified School District, Mariners Christian School, and Red Hill Lutheran School in the Tustin Unified School District. So that's that. And just to show you a little bit of how hard it is, this program was started years ago by the U.S. Department of Education, some 38 years ago. And this past year, only 33 schools received the award in California, and that was represented by only 13 counties. So you see that we always do well in this Orange County. Also wanted you to be aware that we have supported a program with the City of Westminster and the Westminster School District concerning the famous Mendes versus Westminster lawsuit that occurred in the 1940s. As you know, that was the precursor to Brown versus Board of Education, which really struck down the segregation of schools. So there's been established a Mendes Freedom Trail and Tribute Monument, and we are going to help with producing content, curriculum, and content for the curriculum that emphasizes what this means to the country and to the classroom today in terms of segregation. So that's it. It's all under my reports. Thank you, Mr. President.
Very good, Dr. Maharis. Associate Superintendent, any updates, announcements?
First off, Renee has an update for you.
Okay.
Hopefully in your red folder, and so it's our first quarterly report. Things are on track. If you remember when we did the budget, I think it's been a few months ago now, we had reduced the revenue because we had the one building that we were rehabbing. And so we are now actively leasing those spaces. I will say that they went on the market about 3 weeks ago. Out of 8 industrial spots, we have 5 filled already. And we've actually turned away quite a few people that just don't fit the property. And so we're very grateful that we will probably fill that building quickly. And so right now we show 69% occupancy. We really think we'll get to closer to 90-something by January. So we are utilizing some of the empty space for staff here as we spread out a little bit, trying to keep our social distancing, but they were vacant. We have lost 3 more tenants just due to COVID related. Their businesses have struggled. But most of the other companies seem to be stabilizing. So we're very confident that our numbers will stay about where we projected for budget.
Thank you, Renee.
And additionally, just as a reminder, the next board meeting is Wednesday, December 2nd. We do have a 4:00 p.m. start time, so we had a conversation, the executive committee and myself, with regards to the start time. So on the board website, as a result of when you changed your meeting schedule to evenings, we show that your start time is 4:00 p.m. unless otherwise noted. And you all had indicated in your conversation that you would have your closed session from 4 to 5 and then start your regular meeting at 5. Since a variety of reasons, we've been deviating because of a lot of interdistrict and expulsion appeals as well as other things. But the question came up whether or not that time should change on the website if you're going to continue to do 5 o'clock meetings, or if you think you'll be going back to the 4 o'clock, then we'll leave it alone. But something for you all to think about and have some conversation so that we'll know how to respond and make sure that the public has the right information. I apologize again for the typographical error that we had for this meeting because of a variety of situations that occurred, but we did get it corrected and it was reposted so that the public was aware, and we corrected the YouTube and so forth so that everyone would be on it at the appointed time. The submission deadline is Monday, November 16th, and board packet delivery is going to be on Wednesday, November 25th. Our office will be closed on the 26th and the 27th for the Thanksgiving holidays. So you will receive a board packet the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Just because of timing and everything. And also as a reminder, we are closed next Wednesday, November 11th, to honor our veterans. And need to confirm attendance for CSBA, which is December 3rd through 4th. It is a virtual conference. When we first dialogued about it, it was supposed to be in person and virtual. Then they went back to virtual. And so my understanding is they still may have some things that would be in person. We're trying to get information confirmed, but we have some of you registered. And so if you are unsure of your status, then let me or Daru know, and we can let you know whether or not you registered, or if there's an interest still to do something, we can accommodate.
Yeah, would you let us all know if we've registered? I know, I don't think I have.
Honestly, I don't remember.
Yeah, so it would be great if you just update us and we'll all know whether we are or we aren't.
We will reach out to all of you. And that's all I have for you.
Very good. Board member comments.
Yes, well, I want to start by congratulating our 2 board members. It's nice to have winners on the dais, so congratulations to Becky and Tim in their successful city council races. That's exciting. And yeah, let's talk about the meetings. I thought that it used to say that we started at 5 unless we started with closed session at 4. So we should begin to discuss what the preference is. Does everybody?
Right, that's what we talked about,
Yeah.
I think, in the last several months.
Yeah.
We've had quite a hectic schedule with all of the charters and the expulsions and all of that. So that kind of threw us off, and we wanted to put the public first. We wanted to get the public up front in front of our agenda and public comments, and that's why we put the closed session to the very end, because we're leaving here at 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. So I think, you know, if we do continue, the board will let you know. Today's closed session was last minute, but we put it on the agenda just in case. I'd love to hear from my colleagues how they feel about the 4 o'clock start time.
So is it 4 with closed session before, or just 4 starting and having closed session?
Right.
At the end?
So what we talked about before was the closed session would start at 4. We come out of closed session, begin at 5. And that's how we originally scheduled to do that. That was changed because of all the other events that happened.
Well, I'm flexible as long as I know. I'm flexible 4 or 5, as long as does anybody have a problem getting here at 4 as a general rule? Is that?
I don't have an issue with getting here at 4, but I do like the closed session. I think we're a little fresher in closed session
the
because some of the issues before us do require us to kind of concentrate a bit more than when we're doing this late at night. So I'd prefer to do closed session before. And
Okay.
that way we start and the public is here and we can do those public comments and then conduct our board meeting.
I concur.
Yeah, I concur too. As
Yeah.
long as our closed sessions stay timely, I just feel bad when we go into closed session and we stay late and the public is waiting, but an hour should work. And I think if we know ahead of time, maybe we can advise the public that it'll be longer ahead of time if we anticipate. But hopefully we can keep them to an hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other comments?
Just a reminder that you will start your meeting at 4 and then recess to closed session. So,
Right,
because I want to make sure that there's not confusion
Right.
with regards to that. And that's one of the things with the public. So we have, because now we're live streaming, we have a statement that we post that says that you have recessed to closed session. And we put 1 hour, or if you tell us it's 2 hours, we'll put 2 hours. But at least the people that are trying to view online can see, and then we will update that accordingly so that if it's 30 minutes left, 45 minutes, and so forth.
And the invocation is after the closed session, or is it when we open at 4? When is the invocation?
Usually at 5.
At
Yeah,
5,
yeah.
okay, okay.
President Williams, I do have one other comment.
Yes.
Good. I would just like to acknowledge Francine Cinto, who is a trustee in Tustin Unified, who is retiring after 24 years on the board. So I just wanted to acknowledge her here. And then we'll be giving her a little certificate, which I'll be presenting at her last board meeting later this month.
Oh, nice.
Thank you for doing that.
I had no
Becky.
idea. Maybe let us know when the board meeting is, just in case we have a.
I want to say it's Monday, the 19th.
It is.
Okay, good.
Monday the 9th.
It's Monday,
Of November or December?
November.
And it's the 19th? Does that work for Monday?
No, it's the 16th.
I was going to say, I didn't think, just based on other.
Okay, I have it as the 16th at 6 o'clock.
Okay,
Monday.
Monday the 16th at 6, okay.
That's the information that we were provided.
Yes, that's the
Okay.
information. I was
Maybe
provided.
would you send out just a little reminder to us? Is that,
Sure.
that easy to do? Yeah.
Are you wanting to attend?
Maybe, so it's going to
Okay.
be presented at the Tustin board meeting?
Right, Tustin
Okay.
Unified.
And we would just need to let them know, because they actually sent it to the Orange County School Boards Association, and so then we got the information. They had asked for someone from representing the School Boards Association, which Becky serves on, and not sure how they're doing their meeting because they've been doing a lot of Zoom meetings, but they said they were doing a recognition also. So if you are interested in going, I can send them your name.
Well,
so
especially if
let me
it's
know.
Zoom, because I see I have a 7 o'clock meeting, and I'm not sure now if that'll be Zoom. It had my 7 o'clock on Monday.
We'll check on it.
Okay,
We
yeah,
can
just
get
let
some
me
more
know.
information.
If I could, I'd like to attend, if possible, but never know.
Thank you.
If I might, Dr. Williams, I wanted to personally express my condolences to you and your family for your family's loss. And I don't know if we have a tradition here of adjourning in memory of individuals, but if so, I would suggest we do that. And it's very sorry to hear that, but it was very, very touching and interesting to read the biography of your father and what a great life he obviously lived. So my prayers are with you, Ken, and your family.
I would second that.
Thank you. I've received much love from you all. I appreciate it. Okay, moving on with our meeting. Anything else? Any other comments before we go into closed session? And then after closed session, I would imagine 45 minutes, no more than 60 minutes. We'll come out and report out. Any public comments regarding closed session? None?
There are none.
None. Okay, very good. So the board will be in closed session. and we'll have the report out by Mr. Jonathan Brenner.
Good evening, Trustee Williams and the rest of the trustees. This is the report out for closed session, items 1, 2, and 3. The board received an update and had a discussion with council regarding all 3 items, and no action was taken. And that is the report out for closed session items 1, 2, and 3. Thank you.
Okay. Barring that, there is, I assume, no public comments?
No public comment.
Okay, have a motion for adjournment.
Moved.
Moved.
Adjournment made.
Third. Aye.